Labatt Memorial Park here in downtown London. It is Game 5 of the Inter-County Baseball League Finals. The Toronto Maple Leafs, the London Majors, and this series comes back to London tied at 2 games apiece. We welcome you up to the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Memorial Park. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker off to my right here to call this Game 5. Dylan, did you think when we were coming into this series that we would see kind of what we saw last year, 2 games apiece after 4 games?
Yes, I did, Noah. I thought these two teams were very tight despite the fact that there was a significant gap between them in the standings, a couple of teams between them in the Guelph Royals and Jackfish. I thought this was going to be a very close series all throughout. I can't say I expected a 2-1 game at Christie Pits of all places, maybe at Labatt Park, but that was what we saw on Sunday. It was a tightly contested contest. A couple of runs for the Leafs on back-to-back home runs proved to be the difference. Back-to-back solo shots, and they won that ball game 2-1. It's going to be a tight series all throughout. We knew that coming in, and I expect it to continue as the series rolls along.
The Majors out-hit the Maple Leafs on Sunday in Christie Pits in Toronto, but they come back home with the series tied at 2. We look back to last year. We've talked about this throughout Games 1, 3 here on our broadcast. These teams just don't want to give up a game on home soil. Still, the home team remains to win all the games over the last 2 years in the playoffs between these two clubs. The question now comes, when is this going to break? Is it going to break? It could very well possible stay the same as it has.
It absolutely could be, Noah, but you think eventually it's going to cave, and you want to be the team that's going to take a game on the road. If the Toronto Maple Leafs are able to win tonight, that puts them in a great position going into tomorrow, playing Game 6 at Christie Pits, a park in which they've had lots of success against the London Majors in the playoffs. It places the pressure squarely on the Majors going into tomorrow. But the Majors are a very good ball club at home. They feel that they can win against anyone here on any occasion, and they'll be looking to do just that here tonight.
So the Majors and Maple Leafs battle it out here on a Tuesday night in the Forest City. London looking to get within a win of an IBL championship for the 2nd straight year. Toronto also looking to get within a win. We will know what team is going to be going to Christie Pits on Thursday, looking to try and close it out by the time we leave the ballpark tonight. Dylan, let's go ahead and check out the starting lineup for the visiting Toronto Maple Leafs, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. Jose Vinicio will lead things off for this Maple Leafs ball club as he heads throughout the series.
Yeah, Jose Vinicio will start things off at shortstop. Jordan Castaldo after that. Justin Mara, Marcus Connect, John Salazzo, Connor Lewis, Dan Mara, Damon Topley, Greg Carrington. This is a lineup that we have been used to seeing in this series. Not much change for Garrett Takamatsu's squad. It's pretty much identical to what we saw in Game 1, in Game 2, in Game 3, and in Game 4. One little change. At the bottom of your screen there, you'll see that Greg Carrington is playing shortstop. He is in left field. Of course, Jose Vinicio is the shortstop in this contest for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it is more of the same for the Leafs, and they'll be looking for an offensive spark in this one.
So that is the lineup that the Leafs will send out here for Game 5 at Labatt Memorial Park, looking to see if they can get within a win of the IBL championship game. The London Majors just finishing getting announced out onto the field here with their starting lineup. It's going to be Fernando Fernandez as you see him making his way out onto the field, the starting pitcher in the ball game for London.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Fernando Fernandez when we present the pitching matchup to you, but this is a guy Roop Chanderdad has been able to turn to time and time again, especially late in the season, in the postseason, and he gets the start here in a pivotal Game 5 tonight.
So with that, we will go to break here. It's time for the national anthems at Labatt Memorial Park. First pitch here in Game 5 is next on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah. I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Christie, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park here as we get set for Game 5 of the IBL Finals. Fernando Fernandez, the starter for London, on the hill getting warmed up, and with that we'll go ahead and check out the starting pitching matchup in this crucial Game 5.
Yeah, Fernando Fernandez, as we have mentioned, takes the hill for the London Majors. And in this postseason, he's 1-0 with a 1.22 earned run average. He has been terrific, and we heard Ryan Eakin and Patrick Melbourne mention it on the broadcast on Sunday. He kind of started the year slowly. He had a few rough outings to begin the season, but really turned things around late July, early August, became a heavily relied upon arm out of the bullpen, a guy who could make a spot start, and that's what the Majors and Roop Chanadap, Brent Wales are going to be looking for in this contest. On the other side for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it is Sam Green. No record in this IBL postseason, but has a 7.13 earned run average, a 7.3 strikeouts per 9, and a 7.3 walks per 9. Strikes out a good number of batters per 9 innings, but walks are a little bit elevated for Green. The Majors are going to have to be patient and capitalize on the occasions that Green will leave one in the strike zone, because that's how they're going to produce runs tonight. It won't be by being over-aggressive. You've got to make him come into the zone.
So Fernandez is finishing up his warm-up pitches, and with that, Jose Vinicio will make his way towards home plate to get us started here in this ultra-important Game 5 at Labatt Memorial Park. Still some fans making their way into a ballpark. Good showing here, despite being a weeknight ball game. Fans know what's on the line here. Fernandez Vinicio will start us off here in the top half of the first inning. Fairly warm day this afternoon here in London. It's cooled off a little bit since the batting practice got underway. Now with the sun setting, the breeze has slowed down. Other than that, it's a good night for baseball. Here's Fernandez. First pitch delivery to the plate is going to be bounced past the glove of Robert Mullen, and the count will go to 1-0 to begin the ball game to Jose Vinicio.
As mentioned, Fernando Fernandez became a guy Roop Chanadap could rely upon. He pitched in games 3 and 4 of this series out of the bullpen for the Majors. Pitched the final innings in those contests for London.
Second straight pitch will miss out of the zone to begin the ball game for Fernandez. We touched on it when we were talking about the starting pitching matchup, Dylan. He's a guy that has seen a lot of time out of the bullpen as of late. It'll be interesting to see how he fares in this start tonight. Vinicio squares around, but the pitch is going to miss low. And right away, 3 straight balls to begin the ball game.
Yeah, Fernando Fernandez had 2 starts in the regular season, a 3.91 earned run average in the regular season. He's a guy who's started before. He's not afraid of that by any means. He was a starter when he pitched for Guelph in 2019.
Now he pounds the zone. He's got his first strike of the ball game, and he works the count back to 3-1 here on the Leafs' leadoff man. Vinicio trying to find his way on to begin the ball game here for Toronto any way possible. 3-1 to the plate, and it's a called strike, and now the count is full here on Vinicio.
Good job by Fernandez pounding the strike zone after missing with 3. It's possible it was just the nerves early on in this contest. You know it's a big game for the Majors and the Maple Leafs. 3 in a row missed the zone, but came back and pounded right away.
Count full here, pitch, and Vinicio will foul that one off and stay alive at the plate. Vinicio has been a guy all series, all season for Toronto who has done a fantastic job at battling. He sees a lot of pitches to begin the ball games. And when he gets deep in counts, he can fight those pitches on the outer edge off until he gets one he likes.
You and I have been talking about it throughout the series. Noah, Vinicio just battles when he's there at the plate. Sees a ton of pitches. This at-bat, 6 pitches, no exception.
And he's going to rip one, but it's foul into the Majors bullpen on 3-2.
Vinicio way ahead of that last pitch from Fernando Fernandez. Going to look to wait back a little bit longer on the next offering.
That foul ball had made its way back out onto the field after a ricochet off the fence, so they've got it picked up now, and Fernandez is ready for another 3-2 here against Vinicio. To the plate, and he fouls that one back again.
That pitch missed the strike zone. Had some good deception on it from Fernando Fernandez. Got Vinicio to go after it, but he was able to get a piece and stay alive, fouling it back to the screen.
Be interesting to see how Mullen and Fernandez come at Vinicio here. Mullen moves to set up on the inside portion of the plate. Here's the 3-2. Will miss outside. And Jose Vinicio has got himself aboard with a leadoff walk here in Game 5.
Yeah, Jose Vinicio did a great job of being patient in that at-bat, fighting off some tough pitches from Fernando Fernandez, and eventually getting one that was out of the strike zone that he could take with ease and reach base. This is what he does so well. He's able to see and make Fernandez work, and then if it's not there for him, he's just simply not going to chase. He's a pro hitter, and now he's over at first base with nobody out for the heart of this Leafs order.
So Castaldo comes to the plate, lefty on lefty now, but Vinicio is aboard to begin the ball game. Castaldo swings through that fastball from Fernandez, and he falls behind 0-1.
The Toronto Maple Leafs have some very talented left-handed hitters in their lineup. Castaldo, Mara, Salazzo, to name a few. Greg Carrington as well at the bottom of the order. Fernando Fernandez is going to be looked upon to maybe provide a little relief in those lefty-lefty matchups as well.
Fouled off now by Castaldo, and that one will find its way out of play, move the count to 0-2.
Fernando way ahead of Castaldo right now. Got to put him away. Can't waste any time. Can't waste too many more pitches. Already at 11 so far through just 2 batters. So Fernandez going to look to zero in and get the out.
Looking for quick and efficient outs now to begin the ball game. Still looking for that first out here in the top of the first. Vinicio takes his lead. Pitch to the plate. Called strike 3. And he makes quick work of Castaldo for the first out here in the ball game.
Great job by Fernando Fernandez, freezing Jordan Castaldo on a pitch that caught the outside part of the plate. It was a good fastball. And he gets the call from home plate umpire Chris Walters for a huge first out at the top of the first inning.
So Mara will come to the plate now.
I mentioned, Noah, that Fernandez is good in these lefty-lefty matchups. The one that got away from him was Justin Mara on Friday night. If you'll recall, if you were watching the broadcast, Mara hit a moonshot off of Fernando Fernandez back in, I believe it was the 7th or 8th inning.
Vinicio will go. The pitch and the throw down is not going to be in time to get the speedy shortstop. And he's up into scoring position here with 1 out.
Not a bad throw right there from Robert Mullen, just a little bit late on the pitch that missed outside the strike zone. Maybe if it's lower and it's on the money, they have a shot, but I think Vinicio had that bag stolen. Got a great jump, read Fernandez well, and is able to pick up an extra 90 feet and avoid the double play.
Huge there for the Leafs, out of double play. And now going again is Vinicio, and he's going to be into third without a throw.
Vinicio not hesitating to be aggressive on the base path. Saw that Fernandez wasn't really checking on him and is able to take third now as well. So he's picked up 90 feet just like that, or pardon me, 180 feet. Now he stands 90 feet away from scoring a run over at third base.
That is huge for the Leafs, and Vinicio using his speed to his advantage. Now stands 90 feet away as the pitch is going to be called a strike on 2-0. Now 2-1 here on Mara.
Mara not a big fan of that call from home plate umpire Chris Walters. Thought it might have been low, maybe inside a little bit, and did not get the call he was looking for from the home plate umpire.
Fernandez now just inside on 2-1. 3 balls and a strike now.
That one was close, but did not quite catch the inside part of the plate from Fernandez.
And now you don't have to come right at Mara here. You do have first base open if you want to avoid him here on 3-1. This one fouled off. Right will give it a look, but it's going to be into the seats and out of play.
Fernandez challenged him with a fastball up in the strike zone, and Mara able to fight that one off, get a piece. But the count moves to 3-2 now.
Fernando Fernandez looking for a big out here. One gone. Vinicio stands at third. 3-2 pitch to the plate. And it's swung on and missed for the second out.
Fantastic work right there by Fernando Fernandez out on the mound. He fell behind Justin Mara, put Mara in a great hitter's count at 3-1, but got a foul ball on a pitch that challenged him a little bit. We weren't sure if he was just going to put him on because you've got Marcus Connect on deck. Maybe you don't want to take your chance with Mara. Went right after him. Threw him a fastball. Threw him what looked like maybe a changeup. Had a little bit of deception on it. Dropped a little bit. Mara swung right over top of it for strike 3. And a huge second out for Fernandez.
Yeah, big second out, but not out of trouble, not out of the danger yet as Marcus Connect comes to the plate here for Toronto. He swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it down the line into the Majors bullpen. Oh, and 1 now on Marcus Connect. Vinicio once again standing at third. Got aboard with a walk, stole second, stole third. The pitch will be inside, and it's 1-1.
Looked like a breaking ball right there from Fernando Fernandez that he just yanked a little bit. Didn't quite get the movement he was looking for on that pitch, so it'll miss and count as a ball and a strike. The one good thing with having Vinicio at third is there's not anywhere he can steal unless he wants to try to swipe home, so can kind of avoid a worry for Fernandez.
Ripped into left field on a line right at Drew Lawrence. And Fernando Fernandez works out of a little bit of trouble in the top half of the first inning. Vinicio swipes a couple of bags, but a couple of big strikeouts, and the Majors will head to the bottom of the first with this score still tied at 0.
Yeah, a couple of huge strikeouts for Fernando Fernandez, getting Jordan Castaldo looking on just 3 pitches, battling back against Justin Mara and getting strike 3. So a great job by the Majors left-hander. Marcus Connect hit that baseball very, very hard. For a moment, I wondered if the Leafs were going to get on the board first, because if that thing found a hole, it was going all the way to the wall. But a good play by Drew Lawrence out in left field making that grab.
So the Majors will head to the sticks here, looking to try and be the first team on the scoreboard here in Game 5. Let's check out the starting lineup that will try to do that for London, Dylan. And let's talk about the switches in this order coming into Game 5, because there are lots.
There are quite a few switches in this Majors order. They struck out the fewest out of any IBL lineup in the regular season, and the number has gone up in the playoffs. So Group Chanadad has decided to switch things up in this Majors order, looking to spark things a little bit. There were a few opportunities on Sunday where the Majors had runners on base and just could not cash. So Jacob Newton remains in the leadoff spot. Drew Lawrence draws in place of Byron Reichstein, who is unavailable for tonight's game. Lawrence comes into the lineup and immediately gets slotted into the 2 spot. That bumps Taylor Wright down to the 3 hole. Wright, a very talented hitter, going to hit in that 3 spot for the Majors. In the heart of that order, Robert Mullen batting cleanup. That stays the same. Cleveland Brownlee, who was batting third in Game 3, did not play in Game 4 in Toronto. He's back in the lineup as designated hitter, but batting fifth this time. Starling Joseph will bat sixth, so he stays in that spot. And the bottom three remains mostly the same with Perrier, Wilkie, and Cantel.
So that is the lineup that the Majors will send out here in the bottom of inning number 1. Looking to get some offense going. We mentioned on Sunday in Toronto, the Majors grabbed 10 hits, Dylan, but it was just the lone run that they could bring across. Really looking to see if they can, have a better game than that here at their home field of Labatt Park.
They didn't lack opportunities to score runs. There were several chances with runners in scoring position, and they just could not push them across. So that's what's inspired these changes, I think, for the London Majors in tonight's lineup. And Newton still remains the top. Rup Chanadad still trusting him to be the catalyst of this offense. He's had a great playoffs, has shown him no reason to not trust him in this spot. But we'll see how this new look Majors lineup fares against Sam Green and the Maple Leafs.
So Newton leads things off here against Green. Bottom half of the first inning. And he'll take the first pitch to the plate from Green low. Count a ball and no strikes.
First pitch missed low, and like I mentioned when we brought up the pitching matchup, you got to make sure Green comes into the strike zone.
And he'll get underneath one on the second pitch, fly it out to shallow center. Lewis is going to have it as he reaches off to his left to make the catch. And Newton is retired for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Newton just did get underneath that baseball, sending it sky high, and Connor Lewis had to do a good job of tracking that one down just to make the catch. Didn't move a lot away from him, but because it was so high, it was easy to lose, and grab was made by Lewis out in center for the first out.
And so Drew Lawrence, who is going to take advantage of Rup Chanadad wanting to make some switches in the order tonight, and will bat second here. Green ready and delivers. The first pitch will come inside to Drew, and the count moves to 1-0.
Drew Lawrence came in for Starling Joseph after Starling got ejected in the last game against the Maple Leafs, and he hit a big double, so Majors are going to be hoping that he can ride that hot bat.
On the ground, second base. Mara, the throw across to one in time. And just like that, Lawrence is retired as well. Green has 2 outs on just 4 pitches.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well. No, 4 pitches, all it's taken for Sam Green up to this point to get 2 Majors set down already. It was Jacob Newton taking ball 1 and then hitting a fly ball to center field. And then right there, Drew Lawrence took ball 1 as well and grounded out to second base. So Majors are going to be looking for a little bit more from the offense, a few more pitches seen as Taylor Wright comes up.
So Taylor Wright comes to the plate here. 2 gone in the bottom of the first inning. Green looking to have himself a quick first here against the Majors offense. Wright will take that first pitch for a strike, and the count moves to 0-1. Dylan, we heard that some family for Taylor in the ballpark tonight, and his grandpa celebrating a birthday tonight, watching all the way in Vancouver.
Yeah, Sid Wright watching in Vancouver, as that one misses to Taylor, so happy birthday to him. His mom, Tanya, is in the ballpark, getting a chance to watch her son in person for the first time all year in this last stretch. She was here on Friday night, I believe, as well.
Quite the time to come down and see it, IBL Finals, and her son will take that inside. Count moves to 2-1 here on Taylor Wright. Green comes set, grabs the sign from Mara, now delivers to the plate, and it's outside, 3-1.
That one well up high on Taylor Wright. So after he took strike 1, he sees 3 in a row that missed the zone and has a chance to take a base as the chance begin.
Green to the plane, right a swing, and he's going to foul it back into the screen. And the count will move to full at 3-2 now.
Taylor Wright might have had ball 4 right there if he had taken it, but went after that one just above the strike zone, able to get a piece, but the count moves to full now with 2 away.
I'm all right with the Majors being aggressive here. Obviously, walks and getting guys aboard will be a crucial part, as well as staying patient at the plate, but being aggressive early on, never a bad thing. 3-2 on right. Green ready, delivers, and it's upstairs off the glove of Mara to the backstop, and Taylor Wright will be aboard here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that one just sailed on Sam Green, went well high off the glove of Justin Mara and straight to the backstop. So Wright did a good job not getting over aggressive on that one. Does not chase and reaches first.
So that'll bring Robert Mullen to the plate. With a man aboard, 2 gone here in the inning. And Green now working from the stretch for the first time. Wright takes the lead just at the cut of the grass over at first. First pitch to Robert Mullen upstairs with the fastball. 1-0.
That one misses well high to Mullen, and it seems like Sam Green has missed. When he's missed, he's been missing high for the most part in this first inning. Missed well high to Taylor Wright, and that one high on Mullen as well.
Looks to the plate. Mullen on the ground hard, but right at the shortstop, Vinicio. He'll go the short way to second. Tamara and Mullen and the Majors are retired here in the bottom of the first. No score through an inning complete here in London in Game 5. You're watching the Intercounty Baseball League Finals on MajorsTV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. Labatt Memorial Park here in London, Game 5 of the IBL Finals, and a pretty good showing of attendance here on this Tuesday night. Not quite what we saw on Friday, of course, Dylan, but that's kind of to be expected here with a midweek ball game, but a lot of fans in the ballpark to see how the Majors fare in this crucial Game 5.
Midweek ball game, school is going on, right? Not as many kids at the ballpark, but like you mentioned, pretty good crowd on hand. Wasn't really sure what to expect for tonight, but a lot of fans have made their way down to the ballpark, enjoying some ballpark snacks. What's your go-to, Noah? You got a candy? I like Skittles a lot.
I always tell you, you go do the concession stand runs, and I always tell Dylan to get my special treat. I like the Snickers bar.
Yeah, you're a big Snickers guy.
That is my favorite.
You always tell me to get a special treat, and I always grab you a Snickers because I just knew that that's your favorite.
Well, you got it the one time, and I never have complained since, so it apparently can't be a bad idea.
Exactly. As long as I don't get any complaints, I'm doing my job.
Fernando Fernandez on the hill here, top of the second inning. In the first, he lost the battle to Jose Vinicio to begin the ball game. Got aboard after a lengthy at-bat that saw him draw a walk. He then stole second, stole third, getting all the way up to third base before Fernandez was able to get out of a jam and get the Majors on the bats in a scoreless ball game. And now he's going to get ahead 0-1 here to begin the top half of the second.
Yeah, somewhat dangerous first inning for Fernando Fernandez, but he was able to avoid any runs coming across.
On the ground, but foul down the first baseline. Dylan, all things considered as well, after that lengthy at-bat to Vinicio, the pitch count not in a bad spot for Fernandez.
Absolutely not. It's only 23 pitches through 2 pitches to John Salazzo and the first inning. I believe it was 8 pitches that Vinicio saw, something around that, and that's a lot for Fernando Fernandez, but he was able to work back around his usual parameters.
And they'll appeal down, and Salazzo is able to hold up in time on the 0-2 pitch that broke across the plate.
Check swing right there from John Salazzo, just was able to hold up according to the third base umpire in this contest, Rob Stevenson.
One-two coming to the plate, called strike 3, and Salazzo down on strikes to begin the inning.
Yeah, they didn't need to appeal down to third base to see if Salazzo went on that check swing because home plate umpire Chris Walters rung him up on the offering from Fernando Fernandez. That's already Fernando's 3rd strikeout of the ball game, and not usually a guy who strikes out a ton of batters. Definitely has that strikeout ability, and he's put it on full display in this one.
Three strikeouts, and if I'm not mistaken, all on the lefties as well. Fernandez generally does better against the left-handed bats as he falls behind 1-0 here to Lewis.
Yeah, with the exception of that Mara home run on Friday night, Fernando Fernandez has really done a great job this season of shutting down the lefties.
1-0 delivery, and it'll be upstairs. Lewis with an easy take moves the count to 2-0.
Yeah, the first 2 from Fernando Fernandez haven't really tempted Connor Lewis, the Maple Leaf center fielder. That one missed well high, and the first was way inside. Mullen couldn't even get a handle on it, so Fernandez will look to work back in the strike zone here.
Missing again, this time low and inside, and he'll fall behind Lewis 3-0 now. Same way that he started the ball game to Vinicio.
Had a few 3-ball counts in that first inning, Fernandez did, and we'll see how he approaches Lewis now on 3-0. That third ball was very similar to the first pitch he threw in this at-bat. Missed low and inside.
And 4 straight, so Lewis aboard with 1 out here as Fernandez struggled to find the zone in that at-bat.
Yeah, second walk of the ball game for Fernando Fernandez. When he had a 3-ball count against Justin Mara, he was able to work back into it and strike him out. Granted, that count was 3-1 and not 3-0. But another walk, and there have just been at-bats so far, 2 of them, and maybe 3 if you count the Mara plate appearance, where Fernandez just hasn't really had a great feel of the strike zone. Was able to work back in those last 2 at-bats. This one just 4 straight.
Comes right at Mara with a first pitch strike to get ahead 0-1. It seems like he has been on against the lefties. We touched on how he often fares better against the left-handed bats, but you look at the walk to Vinicio where he fell behind, to Lewis there where he fell behind, as now that one finds the outside edge 0-2.
Dan Mara not thrilled with that call from the home plate umpire just because he was squaring around to bunt, wanted to get a sacrifice down, and he pulled back on that pitch thinking that's outside, I'm not going to go after that one. And he's not rewarded for his discipline as now he's behind in the count 0-2, and you doubt the bunt's on here.
0-2, called strike 3. 4-pitch walk, 3-pitch strikeout, and there's 2 gone.
Fernando Fernandez has done a great job in this ball game when he has missed the strike zone frequently, when he has thrown a lot of balls, of working his way right back into it, erasing that from his memory. After he walked Jose Vinicio, it was a 3-pitch strikeout of Jordan Castaldo. He follows up this walk with another 3-pitch strikeout as he sets Dan Mara down.
Damon Topley comes to the plate here and will stare at a first pitch fastball right down Broadway from Fernandez, and it's 0-1.
Topley, not a guy who shies away from bunting either, although with 2 away, it's unlikely he lays one down.
On the ground, right back to Fernandez on the mound. He'll jog this one over to first. The underhand throw to Perrier. And the Leafs are retired here in the top half of the second inning. Once again, just a walk to get a runner aboard here for Toronto. And Fernando Fernandez works through the top of the second.
That's a great second inning for Fernando Fernandez and the London Majors. The 4-pitch walk was a little worrying for a moment, but he bounced right back. After he got the strikeout of Salazzo, was a little too fine to Lewis, missed the strike zone, couldn't find it at all. 4-pitch walk, bounces back with a 3-pitch strikeout. Another strikeout looking for the Majors left-hander, and then gets Toppoli to tap out right back to the mound. So a great performance in that frame for Fernando and the Majors, getting the Majors right back to the bats. And now we'll get a look at the new Majors lineup a little bit, as normally maybe it's Byron Reichstein or Starling Joseph hitting in this 5 spot. This time, Cleveland Brownlee will lead off the second inning for London.
Yeah, Cleveland Brownlee will lead off the second inning here for the Majors. See what he can do to get things started for London. Green back out onto the hill. Dylan, you get a look there at our umpiring crew in the ball game tonight. We touched on the home plate umpire, and that is the rest of the 4-man crew here in the IBL Finals.
You love to see a 4-man crew in the IBL Finals. It's the way all MLB games are officiated, you know, with the smaller number of umpires at the disposal of the Intercounty Baseball League that are qualified enough to ump IBL games. We see 3-man crews usually during the regular season, but here we've got the full 4-man squad. Chris Walters behind the plate, and standing behind second base, Rob Stevenson is the third base umpire, Jeff Rose is at second base, and Mike Guthrow is the first base umpire in this contest.
A lot of familiar names throughout the course of this series. The IBL electing to keep some of the same guys on the crew throughout the course of this IBL Finals. As Cleveland Brownlee will now make his stroll to the plate here to begin the bottom half of the second inning for the Majors.
Yeah, Cleveland Brownlee did not play on Sunday in Game 4. Back into the lineup here for Roop Chanadad's squad. We'll see how he fares in his first at-bat back.
Brief conversation there between Brownlee and the home plate umpire, as well as Mara behind the plate as he gets set to see the first pitch from Green. It's at the bottom of the strike zone, and it's called a strike to move the count to 0-1 here on the Majors' designated hitter.
That's where Toronto has loved to pitch Cleveland Brownlee in this series, right at the knees. If he makes contact, he may hit it hard, but it'll more than likely be on the ground.
Curveball slips out of the hand there.
That one was way high on Cleveland. Sailed over his head behind him. Just no intent behind that at all from Sam Green. Just slipped right out of his hand. You could see it as soon as he threw it. Just flew right out.
No, and the best thing about being a pitcher when that happens is that counts the same as if you were to miss by an inch. So go right at Brownlee here on 1-1. Green ready, delivers. Brownlee fouls it off the other way. And out of play now, a ball and 2 strikes here on Cleve.
That one was hit hard by Cleveland Brownlee, but because the pitch was outside the zone, he kind of had to lunge at it and wound up sending it the other way. Falls behind 1-2.
Green agrees to the sign, ready here in the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, Brownlee on a line, but positioned perfectly as Carrington in left to make the catch and retire Cleveland here to begin the bottom half of the second.
Cleveland Brownlee got a lot of that baseball, but it got a little too far in on his hands, and Cleve wasn't able to get as much power behind it as I'm sure he would have liked. Carrington playing deep against Brownlee in every at-bat, was well positioned to take that one in.
So that'll bring Starling Joseph to the plate. See if he can get something started here for London with 1 gone. Green so far for Toronto, 16 pitches, being efficient to begin the ball game. And he'll start the at-bat to Joseph with a called strike on the inside edge.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Sam Green only needed 4 pitches to get the first 2 outs. Wound up finishing the first inning with 12 and has thrown 5 so far in the second.
Curveball just missing at the top of the zone to Joseph.
It's a pretty good breaking ball from Green, but home plate umpire thought it was just high.
1-1, Green delivers curveball again. This one hit on the ground, not hard. Shortstop Vinicio on the run, the throw in time to get Joseph. And quickly 2 Majors retired here to begin the second.
Yeah, the breaking ball got Starling Joseph to roll over on it. Just sent it out to the shortstop, Jose Vinicio, who charged it, made the play on the run, fired it over to Jordan Castaldo. And another 2 quick outs for Sam Green so far. He started the first inning with 2 quick outs and has done the same here in the second.
So Dan Perrier will come to the plate with 2 gone. Fly out and a ground out to begin the bottom of the second. First pitch from Green. Fastball on the outside edge. Called a strike. Oh, 1 here on Perrier. Curveball. And once again, they're going to say just missed on Perrier. 1-1.
Yeah, that one drops in and misses the strike zone against Dan Perrier. Saw a similar curveball to that one against Starling Joseph.
Perrier the other way, out of play on the foul ball.
A lot of rhymes there, Noah. Perrier the other way, out of play.
Would you believe me if I told you I did not mean to do that?
You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
1-2 here on Perrier. Green looking to get out of the inning. The pitch is outside with the fastball.
Good take right there from Dan Perrier. 2 strikes. You're always in protect mode, but that one well outside, and Big Dan able to lay off.
Curveball, and he chases it outside of the zone. A huge strikeout for Green, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning will send us to the third here in London. A scoreless ball game here at Labatt Memorial Park on MajorsTV.
My name's Tiffany Christie, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
No score as we head to the top of the third here in London. It's the Intercounty Baseball League Finals on MajorsTV. No hits as well, just some walks to get runners on base so far. But we head to the top of the third. Fernando Fernandez back out onto the mound for London. And he's done a good job so far. Like we said, Dylan, just a little bit of trouble, but he's worked out of those jams thanks in part to some timely strikeouts.
Yeah, he walked Jose Vinicio to start this ball game, and Vinicio immediately made his entire tool set known as he swiped second base and then stole third as well for the Maple Leafs, putting himself 90 feet away from scoring a run. But Fernandez struck out Jordan Castaldo, struck out Justin Mara, and then got a line out to get out of it. In the second inning, a similar thing as he walked Connor Lewis on 4 pitches after he struck out John Salazzo to lead off the inning. Immediately came right back with a strikeout of Dan Mara and a ground out from Damon Toppoli. So Fernandez, when he has walked batters, has been able to get right out of it quickly, like you mentioned, with some pivotal strikeouts.
So Fernandez Mullen ready to go to begin the third, squaring around a bunt, but they're going to say that he was able to pull back in time. Ball 1.
Carrington looked to lay one down, and Rob Stevenson says he did not chase. Pulled back in time.
So Fernandez ready, the 1-0 delivery. This one popped up sky high Candell is out. Lawrence is in. It's Keith Candell out on the grass to make the catch for a fairly quick out. Number 1 here for Fernando Fernandez.
Some nervous moments on that last play as Keith Candell right off the bat didn't break, but then quickly sprinted out to the outfield, tried to locate it, got under it, made the grab. Drew Lawrence was coming in just in case Candell couldn't make the play, so Majors get the first out. A nice grab by Keith Candell in shallow left field.
So Jose Vinicio will come to the plate. Got aboard with a walk to lead off the ball game in the first. We'll stare at a first pitch strike from Fernandez this time around.
Yeah, no intention of a swing right there from Jose Vinicio. Was taking all the way and took a strike.
Ready on 0-1. This one is swung on and fouled off. 0-2. The first time around, Fernandez started Vinicio with 3 straight balls before a couple of strike looking to get himself back into account, then 3 foul balls from Vinicio before he drew the walk. This time he gets up 0-2. Well ahead in the count here on the Leafs leadoff man. 1 gone in the inning. Pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Mullen.
Yeah, Fernandez tried to generate a swing right there from Jose Vinicio, but did not get one as it missed low. Mullen did a good job keeping that one in front of him. If Vinicio did swing at it and it got by Robert Mullen, there's a non-zero chance of Vinicio standing over at first base with the speed he's got. So you got to make sure you block everything if you're behind the plate.
Hard on the ground, and it takes a nice hop over top of the glove of Newton and into right field. A 1-out base knock for Jose Vinicio, and the Leafs once again have a base runner aboard.
Yeah, you mentioned, Noah, that ball was hit pretty hard off the bat of Jose Vinicio, and if it doesn't take that hop off the lip of the infield grass, I think Jacob Newton actually makes that play, but because it did, it skips away from him. Wasn't able to reach that one, gets into right field, and there's a runner aboard with the first hit of the ball game for either side.
First hit goes to Vinicio with 1 gone here in the top of the third. And we'll keep an eye on Vinicio over at first. 2 stolen bags in the first inning. His lead is at the cut of the grass over on the first base side. Fernandez, a swing and a miss at the plate by Castaldo.
Yeah, the fact that Vinicio stole 2 bases last time he reached base is certainly in the back of the mind of Fernando Fernandez out there on the mound, but you've got to focus on Jordan Castaldo. You can't let that runner distract you because Castaldo at the plate is a very, very dangerous hitter.
Delivery, Vinicio not going, and the pitch will just miss to Castaldo. A throw down from Mullen, not in time to get Vinicio, who's back in easily at first base.
That one just off the plate right there. Mullen tried to frame it, receive it well enough for the home plate umpire, but did not get the call he was looking for, so Castaldo's got an even count.
One and one here on Castaldo, and now Fernandez will pick off over to first base. Vinicio again over at 1. His lead at the cut of the grass not going. This one's popped up. Out into shallow center is Newton, still ranging back now over to his right, but makes the catch. And a huge second out there for Fernandez.
We've seen a couple of pop-outs in this inning and a couple of dangerous plays for some majors. Keith Candell had to track that baseball very well on the first out, and right there, Jacob Newton kind of ran around a little bit, started going towards the right field foul line, then had to cut back, eventually positioned himself well enough to make the grab, and we talked at length in Game 3 about the fact that Austin Wilkie is very deep in center field. Starling Joseph pretty deep in right field as well, so that's not an easy ball for your outfielders to get to. That was all Newton. He had to make that grab.
Fernandez to the plate, inside, and called a strike on Mara. He looked right back to Chris Walters.
Yeah, that one looked like maybe it was a little bit inside. Fernandez will be happy about that. Mara asks Walters, is that as far as that one's going to go? And he says yes, nodding along was the Maple Leafs catcher. Vinicio, of note, took a bit of a bigger lead on that last pitch.
Pitch low and in the dirt. Mullen blocks it, keeps it in front of him, and keeps Vinicio over at first. Vinicio, of course, got aboard with 1 out with the single. Didn't really show any signs of going throughout the last at-bat, but now with 2 gone, you wonder if he might try to swipe second. This one is going to be fouled off and out of play by Mara, 1-2.
Yeah, Vinicio faked that he was going to be running on that last pitch that Mara fouled straight back at the screen. In the Jordan Castaldo at-bat, Jose Vinicio was maybe 2 steps off the bag over at first base. Now he's standing at the cut of the grass, so definitely more aggressive in his leads in this trip.
Crowd trying to get behind Fernando Fernandez. 1-2 on Mara, and he's going to throw over to 1.
With 2 strikes, there's a possibility that Vinicio was going to run. So Fernandez just trying to keep him close, see if maybe he could catch him being a little too eager.
That lead now is a little bit larger at first base. 1-2, not going, and just missing off the plate. Robert Mullen thought they had him.
Yeah, that was a really good pitch from Fernando Fernandez. Not only did it look like it was close to the strike zone, maybe Justin Mara would have swung at that one too, is what you're thinking out there on the mound. Fernandez is going to take a bit of a longer walk here, try to gather himself. He thought he had strike 3. Robert Mullen thought he had strike 3. I think the bulk of the crowd thought he did as well. But home plate umpire has a better view than any of us and called it ball 2.
2-2, Vinicio at first. Fernandez ready. Leg kick from the lefty, delivers, and it's in the dirt.
That one nowhere close from Fernando Fernandez, well outside in the dirt. And now Jose Vinicio, who has not run yet since he got on base, will be on the move with a full count and 2 out.
(3-2). Perrier not going to hold Vinicio on here. Vinicio will get a running start on a pitch that just misses off the plate to Mara.
Yeah, that one a little further off than the one that Mullen thought was strike 3. And Justin Mara, ever so patient at the plate, is able to take it for ball 4. So a couple of runners on now for Toronto, and they may have a little 2-out rally brewing.
So Marcus Connect will come to the plate here for Toronto. The 2-out walk to Mara puts him aboard at first. And Vinicio, who can run, in scoring position at second. A swing and a miss on the first pitch by Fernandez.
Very good pitch right there from Fernando Fernandez, getting the chase from Marcus Connect. He knew he'd be aggressive. He wants to drive that runner home from second, maybe score 3 with 1 swing of the bat. And that one was low, did not allow him to do anything with it.
Majors lefty comes set, checks back at the runner, and saw Vinicio dancing around a little too much for his liking, so he'll step towards second.
Not sure if Vinicio was going to break or if he was just trying to get in the head of Fernando Fernandez, whatever it was. He certainly did get in the head of the Majors lefty, who spun and looked him back.
Now a delivery and a swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Marcus Connect.
2 off-speed pitches from Fernando Fernandez. The Connect has taken similar swings at. We'll see what he comes with on 0-2. I don't see a reason not to go back to it here. If it's worked twice, may as well throw it again. It's in a spot where it's very difficult for Connect to do damage to it.
0-2 offering. Fernandez to the plate, and it's too low. Doesn't get him to chase this time.
The previous 2 were closer to the strike zone. That one well low and in the dirt. So Connect an easy take on that last offering, but you can afford to waste a pitch or 2 when you're ahead 0-2 in a count.
Vinicio at second, Mara at first, 2 gone in the inning, a 1-2 count on Connect. Fernandez delivery, and it's low again.
Possibly trying to overthrow it a little bit here with 2 strikes on Marcus Connect. Has fired it low twice. Release point a little bit late. He's going to wipe down the ball. See if that's maybe the issue he's running into.
You wonder if it's a game plan here against the Leafs right-handed slugger to keep it low. The first 2 pitches that he swung at, low in the zone, and gone back to it a couple of times on 2 strikes. Now the count's 2-2. And no intent of coming to the plate there by Fernandez as he's right back to second.
Just wants to make sure Benicio's not getting any ideas. Not a full count with 2 out, but 2-2. Maybe with his speed, he takes an extra base.
Fernandez to the plate, on the ground, shortstop, Candale, the short way to second to force out Mara, and end the top half of inning number 3. Another scoreless frame for Fernando Fernandez. No score here at Labatt Park as we head to the bottom half of the third.
Another great job by the Majors lefty working out of trouble. A couple of runners get on, but he is able to pitch his way out of it, gets the fielder's choice. And the Majors keep the Maple Leafs on the board another inning as Cleveland Brownlee addressing some members of his team.
Just chatting things over as we make our way to the bottom half of inning number 3. Dylan, earlier today, the Intercounty Baseball League announced the Broadcasters of the Year award, and both of us pleasured, of course, to be named to that. But take this time to thank the rest of our crew who we've told them before, we'll say it again, and say it to everybody watching that we cannot put this show on without them. Of course, you see our smiling faces high-fiving at subscriber milestones, but it does not get done without the tireless work of Jackson Farrow, Cal Johnstone, our camera operators, Kyle Brebner, Matthew Young, Curtis Hiscox, Jeremy McGrady, of course, Matt Hiscox. I feel like I'm missing people. You know, we've had people who have filled in throughout the year as well that, once again, this does not get done without them.
Absolutely, it does not. Matt Hiscox has built this beast, MajorsTV, with you since 2019. He's been around, put so many hours into this, and all of our fantastic crew. You mentioned everybody there. Andrew Wark as well has helped us set up, tear it down, and has been great for the content on social media. So we're very thankful for everybody. Josh Mayu as well has helped us later in the season. I mean, we've been privileged to work with so many great people, so many dedicated people that have helped make MajorsTV and make these broadcasts what they are.
And photo creds as well to Josh Mayu on that shot that you see there.
I saw that picture on the weekend, Noah, and I was like, that is a great shot. You see the crowd in the background, too. Oh, it's awesome.
Josh just likes to get credit for those things every now and again, so. Getting ready to head to the bottom half of inning number 3 here at Labatt Memorial Park. Still no score here in this Game 5. If you're tuning in new to the series, Majors and Leafs have gone back and forth. The home team winning every ball game so far of the first 4 in this best of 7.
Yeah, the home team has certainly been the benefactor in this series. They've been able to really dominate, it feels like. Every time that your team's at home, you feel, okay, they've got the upper hand right now in this series. And that's why home field advantage going into the playoffs was so crucial for the Majors in that one-game playoff against Guelph. Eventually, that tide will change. But for now, the Majors are hoping they can ride it to another win at home.
Fouled straight back into the screen by Austin Wilkie to begin the inning. Just one hit so far in the ball game between the two clubs. That was in the top half of the third for Toronto. Green ready, curveball once again. Missing on the release point on that breaking ball. Second time we've seen that so far in his start. 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of these breaking balls from Sam Green have been missing high. Some of them higher and more inside than others, as that last one was to Wilkie, as we saw with Cleveland Brownlee earlier.
Comes right back with the fastball, though, and doesn't miss a beat. A ball and 2 strikes now for the Leafs righty.
Good zip on that fastball from Green. That one caught the outside corner, so now Wilkie's going to have to protect.
1-2 here on Wilkie. Green set, the righty delivers, and it's a called strike 3. Fastball right there at the bottom of the zone. And Wilkie is down on strikes to begin the bottom of the third.
Yeah, that one caught Wilkie at the knees as he goes down looking for strike 3. Majors need a base runner here. They need some hits. They need to string something together against Sam Green because he has really been dominating so far.
And you know what I like about Sam Green? He throws that curveball, doesn't like how it comes out of his hand, slips a little bit, misses, comes right back with the fastball. Says, you know what, I don't need this right now. Fastball, strikeout, and he's got one gone here in the inning. Keith Candell at the plate now. Takes a first pitch fastball off the plate.
Yeah, you love the confidence that Sam Green has in his fastball. Comes right back to it. Does not hesitate to use it in any spot in the strike zone, any count.
Just missing off the edge there for Sam Green. 2-0 now on Keith Candell.
Tried to paint that outside corner again, but it missed.
Green set and ready, grabs his sign from Mara, delivers, and catches the bottom of the zone for a strike, 2-1. Candell looking to try and find his way aboard here for the Majors at the bottom of the order. Green delivers a fastball that go through the glove of Mara.
I don't know if it went through the glove or if he was trying to receive it and it kind of ticked off his glove as it flew by. Might have been a strike if he caught it cleanly, but could not make the grab. It sounds like you're not the only one in the press box who thinks that might have gone through the glove. I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
He just looked off to the Leafs dugout as well and just kind of shrugged his shoulders as if he didn't know what happened there. The 3-1 will miss outside to Candell. And the Majors do have a base runner aboard here with one gone in the third.
Sam Green has issued his second free pass of the ball game. This one to Keith Candell. So the Majors will have a one-out base runner, and Green initiating a bit of a mound visit there with his catcher Justin Mara. Walked towards the plate to talk to him about what they wanted to do with the next offering, and it's back to the top of the Majors order, so he's got to be a little bit more careful, especially with a runner over at first base.
Yeah, certainly has to be careful here as you get back to the top of the Majors order, but at the same time, he's been pitching well so far tonight. Ground ball away from getting out of the inning as well. First pitch is going to be right down there for Newton. Called strike, moves the count to 0-1.
Good pitch right there from Green, finding the inside corner on Jacob Newton. And after the walk, he gets ahead of the next batter.
Candell with the lead at first, slightly angled towards second. Pitch to the plate, not going. It's a curveball that'll miss low. 1-1. Count evened up now to Jacob Newton.
Earlier in the season, Noah, if Jacob Newton came up in this spot with Keith Candell over at first base, I'd tell you this is a bunt situation. And Newton needs to lay one down right here. But because of how good he's been throughout the season in his production, you let him swing away.
Comes to the fastball inside. Newton bends out of the way. Count now 2-1 here.
Yeah, that one well up and in on the Majors' second baseman, who's ahead in the count 2-1. You wonder if maybe the Majors will think about putting Keith Candell in motion at some point during this at-bat.
And he's going on this pitch. It's low and in. Mara struggles to get a handle on it, and Candell's into second safely on a pitch that moves the count to 3-1.
So now Jacob Newton has a great hitter's count, and Candell picked a perfect pitch to run on. It was low and inside. Mara couldn't get a clean handle on it, couldn't get it out of his glove, and that allows Candell to move up to second base. Maybe you thought for a moment that if Mara had it cleanly, he might have had a shot at throwing him out, but it doesn't matter. Couldn't get it out of his glove.
Curveball. This one finds the strike zone to Newton. And from 3-1 now, count moves to full at 3-2.
Green able to get that curveball down in this at-bat as he gets it right into the strike zone and freezes Newton for strike two.
Curveball inside. And a walk will have the Majors with runners at first and second here, one out.
A little bit of frustration from the Maple Leafs right-hander. Thought he might have had strike three as he went right back to that curveball. Still no chase from Jacob Newton on the second time he saw it. That one seemed to be a little bit further inside, and that's why it was called ball four.
So Drew Lawrence to the plate here. Majors their first time tonight with really something brewing here, this time bottom of the third.
Still no hits, though, for the Majors. They've got a couple of walks in this inning. Would love to get a base hit into the outfield for Drew Lawrence.
Candell at second, Newton at first. And a healthy cut there by Drew Lawrence, but he's right through the first pitch fastball. 0-1.
Drew was looking to get that one into the outfield with a big swing. We'll see maybe if the Majors put the bunt on, trying to get some runners over into scoring position, but on that first pitch, no indication of that.
Green will step off here as Candell grabbed an extra step at second. The nice thing here with Drew Lawrence at the plate is that if he does elect to put a bunt down, if the Majors decide to put a bunt down, it's not really a sacrifice because Drew can get down the line quickly. 0-1, curveball, called a strike on the outside edge, and Lawrence in an 0-2 hole.
It's another curveball in that similar spot. Lawrence took it for strike 2, so now he's going to have to protect. Green seems to have gotten a feel of that pitch and is going to go back to it more frequently.
Does he go back to it on back-to-back pitches, though? It's 0-2 here for Sam Green. Fastball and just off the plate.
That's a tough take for Drew Lawrence, but it is also a good one just off the plate outside. Read it the whole way, able to lay off for ball 1.
1-2 here on the Majors left fielder. Green looks back at second. Now curveball to the plate is swung on and missed. A huge strikeout for Green. There's now 2 gone.
Sam Green has begun to snap that curveball very, very well, and that one gets a swing and miss from Drew Lawrence, the Majors left fielder. He was sitting dead red and couldn't come up with the curveball on that last pitch.
So Taylor right now with 2 outs in the inning. A couple of runners on here for the Majors. Trying to see if he can find the Majors' first hit of the ball game. Sam Green, despite the couple of walks here in the inning, has found the release on his curveball and is looking comfortable on the mound. Decides to start the at-bat to right with the curveball. It'll miss low.
Green showing off his confidence in that pitch with the last offering there to Taylor Wright. Going with it on the first pitch, but that one snapped it off a little bit too hard and misses the strike zone.
Checks on Candell at second. Leg kick, righty to the plate, up and out, 2-0.
Curveball that missed low, and then he fired a fastball well high up and away to Taylor Wright. So Wright's got a great hitter's count here at 2 balls and no strikes, runner in scoring position. Perfect chance to try to capitalize.
2-0 delivery, and this one will miss inside.
Great spot for Taylor Wright here. 3-0, got to be patient, got to make Green throw you your pitch if you're going to swing.
And it'll miss inside. 4 straight to Taylor Wright will load the bases here with 2 gone in the inning. And we do have some action in the Toronto bullpen.
No, I didn't notice it myself, but after that last pitch was thrown from Sam Green, he immediately looked out to the bullpen to see what was going on out there. It is Dylan Jacober loosening up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You get a great look at it on your screen. Jacober, a righty who really silenced the Majors' bats in Game 2 of this series at Christie Pits. Damon Toppoli going out to talk to his starting pitcher out there in Sam Green. Toppoli, the designated hitter for the Maple Leafs in this ball game, trying to calm him down. Majors still don't have a hit. Toronto has not surrendered a hit in this ball game, but 3 walks have allowed the Majors to load the bases and put themselves in a good spot to potentially drive in a run.
Yeah, Majors without a hit, but 1 here could put them up by at least a couple. And it's Robert Mullen at the plate. And plate umpire Chris Walters is going to come in to break up the huddle on the mound. Dylan, we knew coming into this game with Green starting that it could be Jacober after, knowing what we've seen with the Leafs so far in this season. He is getting loose. Although I'm sure for the Leafs here, they were hoping to have Green get through this inning and possibly another.
And he may be able to if he's able to wiggle out of this jam, but he's got a tough bat to do it against in Robert Mullen. Toronto looking to use the same combination they used in Game 2 with Green starting and Jacober coming in after.
First pitch here to Robert Mullen is a fastball missing low and out. 1-0 here on the Majors catcher.
So a 4-pitch walk and then ball 1 to Robert Mullen. Ball 6 of the chance, and I think that's the furthest they've gotten since they started at Labatt Park.
Mullen in the air, left field, on a run, back to the track, and it's caught. Greg Carrington out in left field, runs one down on the warning track, and the Leafs get out of it.
Great play by Greg Carrington out in left field. Mullen thought he may have hit a grand slam to give the Majors a 4-0 lead. Carrington tracks it down and makes a great grab up against the wall.
So the Majors still without a hit here through 3 innings. We'll take a look at play that ended the bottom of the third. Robert Mullen jumping on a 1-0 pitch from Sam Green. But it's Carrington running it down right against the wall in left field. We are scoreless here at Labatt Memorial Park through 3 innings complete here in Game 5. You're watching the IBL playoffs here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Christie, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me.
Fans here at Labatt Park being true to do a good one so far. 3 innings of baseball complete here at Labatt in Game 5 of this IBL Finals. No score, just 1 hit between the 2 teams on the board, but the Majors still got a good chance in the bottom of the third. Robert Mullen flew out on the warning track, right up against the wall. Carrington made the play to get the Leafs out of that jam with the bases loaded in the inning. Fernando Fernandez is back out to the mound here for London. Surrendered just the 1 hit himself so far. No runs through 3 innings of work. But we'll be tasked with continuing on here for the Majors. Dylan Jacober was throwing for the Leafs in the bullpen. We'll see if he comes out for the bottom of the third. But before that, Fernando Fernandez is going to have to get through this top half of the 4th. Due up for the Leafs, John Salazzo, Lewis, and Dan Mara. 5, 6, and 7 in the Toronto order. To lead off the top half of the 4th, Salazzo is 0 for 1 so far tonight. Struck out looking his first time around. That was to begin the 2nd inning. Fernandez is ready. The lefty deals. This one swung on, fouled off, and will get out of play. Count will move to 0-1 now here on Salazzo. Majors playing Salazzo in the outfield to pull a little bit here, lefty on lefty, and he's going to drive one in the air out to center. On the run, Wilkie, and he'll make the catch. Couple of steps onto the warning track to retire Salazzo for out number 1 to begin the 4th. Wilkie was actually shaded towards right field a little bit, like I said, playing Salazzo to pull, but was able to range all the way over and control a lot of that outfield out in deep center field of Labatt Memorial Park. So Fernandez now one gone quickly here as this one is ripped and quickly into the seats. Foul down the left field line. Lewis was on base his first time around. He walked against Fernandez in the second inning. Behind 0-1 now as that pitch gets past Mullen. It looks like it hits off the home plate umpire, Chris Walters, there. And Walters is going to take a little stroll around the home plate area. See if he's all right. Talks things over with Connor Lewis briefly as Robert Mullen goes out to the mound with Fernando Fernandez. Looks like he is okay behind the plate as he waves off the training staff from the Majors dugout. 1-1 count coming here at Connor Lewis. Fernandez ready now. This one hit in the air, center field. Coming on is Wilkie, and he'll make the catch. Quickly 2 gone for Fernandez here in the top of the 4th. Two fairly quick outs for Fernandez. Both of them to Wilkie in center. And now Dan Morrow will come to the plate for Toronto with 2 outs in the inning. Fernandez, the lefty, delivers and he drops it in there for a first pitch strike. The count moves to 0-1 here on Mara. Next pitch will miss low, trying to bring it inside. And the count now even at 1-1. Mullen the sign, Fernandez agrees. 1-1, hit on the ground, hard, third base, picked up on a hop, Taylor right, and he throws across the diamond in time to retire Mara and end the inning. 1-2-3 for Fernando Fernandez in the top half of the 4th. Gets the Majors quickly back to the bats.
Not only 1-2-3 go the Maple Leafs, but Fernando Fernandez only needed 8 pitches to get through that inning. A great job by the Majors left-hander. 2 flyouts to center field and then a hard ground ball to third base to get out of that frame. And as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning, just as the Maple Leafs did in Game 2 of the series, we've got a new arm on the mound for Toronto.
We sure do, and as expected, Dylan Jacober will take over on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Much like you mentioned and we've talked about, we saw earlier on in this series with the Sam Green start, Jacober to take over to pitch the rest of the ball game. Now he's going to be tasked with starting in the bottom of the 4th.
Dylan Jacober is a Calgary, Alberta native and a Western University attendee. Jacober has pitched in 3 games in the IBL playoffs. A 2.91 earned run average, 3-0 in those games. He's been the pitcher of record and has received a winning decision in each of his appearances in the postseason this year. 12 1/3 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, 4 walks. In the regular season, he went 5-1 with a 6.51 ERA. 14 games, 5 games started in the regular season for Toronto.
Labatt Park coming alive here as we get set for the bottom of the 4th. Majors still looking for that elusive first hit of the ball game.
Yeah, it's taken quite a while, Noah. They have gone through 3 at-bats now without a hit. They've had base runners, and they've hit the ball hard at times. 4 walks for London, and just no hits, especially in the big spots that they've needed them. Robert Mullen nearly had a big hit for the Majors, but Greg Carrington did a great job tracking it down and making the grab to end the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Brownlee, Joseph, Perrier, 5, 6, and 7 due up for London here in the bottom half of the 4th. You get a look at Cleveland Brownlee on your screen there. Starling Joseph behind him to his left.
We'll see if this new look Majors lineup can spark something here in the bottom of the fourth. Just one base hit, whether it's a single, double, triple homer, you need something to get the offense rolling. Once you have one guy set the tone, other guys will follow.
So Brownlee to the plate here. Bottom half of the fourth inning here in Game 5 of the IBL Finals. Majors fans have been loud throughout the course of this series in games 1, 3, and now 5. But so far in this ball game, haven't had a whole lot to cheer about. Jacober ready. Here's the first pitch to Brownlee. Hit on the ground. Shortstop Venicio, and plenty of time across the diamond to get Brownlee for the first out.
As Dylan Jacober records his first out of the bottom of the fourth inning, here's a stat for you, Noah. Dylan Jacober pitched in one game this season the Leafs lost. Between the playoffs and the regular season, he pitched in 17 total games. The Leafs only lost one of those 17. Jacober was not the pitcher of record in all 17 of those games, but every single game he pitched in, with the exception of August 18th in Kitchener, the Maple Leafs were victorious in. He's been a great arm for them, keeping them in ball games, and they'll be looking for him to provide some solid relief on the mound in this Game 5 of the Finals.
Starts off the at-bat to Starling Joseph with a first pitch fastball. Oh, 0-1 here in the Majors right fielder. Now curveball off the plate, swung on and missed. 0-2.
Yeah, Starling a little over-aggressive on that last offering, well outside the strike zone. He chases it, and now quickly well behind in the count.
Jacober ready, the 0-2, and doesn't get it to break enough on the inside portion of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes here on Joseph.
Yeah, good breaking ball right there from the Maple Leafs right-hander, but did not quite break back over the plate enough, so Starling has another chance.
Similar pitch, similar location, same result, now 2-2.
Yeah, very similar pitch right there from Jacober. That one maybe a little further into the strike zone, and Joseph bows out of the way of it. Home plate umpire says it's ball 2.
2-2 here on Joseph. And they come up and in. Now the count moves to full here, so Jacober had him 0-2. 3 straight pitches inside, and now it's 3-2.
Those curveballs were close, but did not quite get the zone.
And now we'll bounce one. Starling Joseph is aboard with a 1-out walk, so the 5th walk of the ball game for the Majors. And another base runner aboard.
Great job by Starling Joseph in that at-bat. He chased a pitch on 0-1 that I'm sure he'd like to have back. It was well out of the strike zone. He reached, he leaned, and did not come up with it, obviously. It bounced into the plate, and that was strike 2. So he's well behind, but he did a great job of being patient after that, making sure he did not chase anything out of his comfort zone, anything that he felt was not a strike, and it paid dividends for him as he reaches first base. 5th Majors walk of the game, still a 0 in that hit column.
Pitch missing outside to Dan Perrier. 1-0 here on the Majors' first baseman. Joseph the lead at first, and now they're going to throw over as he's back in safely with a dive.
Now, Noah, the group of fans that is rowdy here at Labatt Park, I've been told that they're called the Ballflowers now, I believe. They have quite the chant for Dan Perrier. They love Dan Perrier, always chanting Dan, Dan, Dan every time he does something on the field.
And he's going to rip one over top of the head into left field. Joseph with a round, but he's going to hold at 2. And the Majors are into the hit column, courtesy of Dan Perrier.
Big Dan Perrier spiked that one into the ground. John Salazzo tried to come down with it, leapt up but could not make the grab, so the Majors have 2 on, one of them via hit, and they might have another chance to press here in the bottom of the 4th.
So Austin Wilkie as a quick visit at the mound. Mara chatting things over with Jacober. Got Brownlee for the first out of the inning, then the walk to Joseph, the hit to Perrier. And as mentioned, just like that, the Majors in business here, bottom of the 4th inning.
Austin Wilkie in his first trip to the plate struck out looking, so he'll be looking for a better result here.
And he falls behind 1-0 now to Wilkie.
Yeah, that one well up and in. Jacober tried to start him with a breaking ball, catch him by surprise, but it missed the strike zone, nearly clipped Wilkie.
Jacober ready, Wilkie, a swing and a miss. Good action on that pitch on 1-0. Had Wilkie chasing low in the zone. Keith Candell stands behind him in the on-deck circle. 1 gone here in the inning. 2 runners aboard for the Majors. Jacober checks back, now delivers to the plate, and it's a swing and a miss.
Good off-speed right there from Dylan Jacober. Had Wilkie way out in front of it, came up empty on the swing, and now he's in danger of striking out for a second time.
Jacober 1-2 on Wilkie. And a swing and a miss. Wilkie down on strikes, and there's 2 gone.
Great movement on that pitch from Dylan Jacober. Just dove away from the right-handed batting Wilkie into the lefty batter's box for strike 3 as Wilkie chased.
They'll bring Keith Candell to the plate. And a big spot here for the Majors. He'll foul the first pitch back to the screen. Count moves to 0-1.
Good job by Keith getting a piece of that offering from Jacober. Fouling it off.
Oh, 1-1 here on the Majors shortstop. Jacober off the plate with that pitch, and the count evens up.
That's a similar pitch to what he got Wilkie to strike out on. That one a little bit higher, didn't dive as low as the pitch to Wilkie did, and Candell able to take.
And he gets Candell to chase on this one. Jacober's gotten good stuff, and the Majors unable to find an answer so far. Candell in a 1-2 hole.
And that one was in the dirt, and it still got Keith Candell, who's usually very patient at the plate, to chase. Does not often go after pitches like those, but swung at that one.
One and two, Joseph at second, Perrier at first. On the ground, back to the mound. Jacober will pick it up, shovel it to first base, and the Majors are retired here in the bottom of the 4th. 4 scoreless innings here at Labatt Park in Game 5 of the IBL Finals. The 5th is next here on Majors TV.
capturing emotion in every shot.
Game 5 of the IBL Finals here on MajorsTV. We thank you for tuning in wherever you are watching from here on this Tuesday night. Quick out-of-town scoreboard for those of you who are tuned in to us. The Blue Jays up 9-5 on the Phillies in the top half of the 7th inning. And the Detroit Tigers, big friends of the Blue Jays right now. They're up 2-0 on Baltimore. Kind of beat them up a little bit last night at Camden Yards.
It's funny, Noah, before you said, helping out the Toronto Blue Jays, I was going to make a Detroit Tigers joke about their season, but now I will refrain because they are helping out the Jays.
A lot of Tigers fans here, Dylan. You got to watch what you say.
I know. London area is filled with Tigers fans. You see, I think, a Tigers fan out there. There was a Tigers hat, it looked like, as the kids are playing around on the pile of wood chips beyond the right field fence. The people who are here tonight are having a great time, and there's a pretty good crowd on hand, pretty healthy crowd for a Tuesday night contest.
Fernando Fernandez back out to the mound here for London. Top half of the 5th inning we go in what is so far a scoreless ball game. These two teams, Dylan, you talk about teams that play a lot of their baseball in terms of offense, right? Put up a lot of runs, especially when you play at Christie Pits through half the series, but a 2-1 game Sunday at Christie Pits, and now 4 scoreless innings here at Labatt Park to begin Game 5.
These two teams over the last 13 innings have combined for 3 runs, 2 for Toronto, 1 for London. I saw Marshall Robinson, I believe, in the chat mentioning that as well. It's been quite the streak. The pitching and the defense has been on point for both sides over the past 13 innings, excuse me.
First pitch inside. Count moves to 1-0 here on Topley. Now Topley right back to the screen on a foul ball. Count 1-1.
Excuse me, that was Minimax Clips saying that in the chat.
One here on Damon Topley. Now he's going to fly one out to right field. In the gap, a little bit of communication there, and Austin Wilkie be the one to take control for the Majors. 1 gone.
Good play out in right center field by Austin Wilkie. Was playing pretty deep and ranged over to his left. Starling Joseph actually got towards the ball before Wilkie did, it looked like, but obviously the center fielder has priority. Wilkie calls him off, makes the grab.
So Greg Carrington will come to the plate for Toronto with 1 gone. 0 for 1 at the plate so far, although that's not uncommon between these two lineups so far through the first 4 innings of baseball. He'll take a first pitch strike on the outside edge.
Only 1 hit for both sides. Jose Vinicio has the lone Toronto hit, and Dan Perrier just recorded the first Majors hit of the ballgame.
Swing and a miss by Carrington. And it's 0-2.
Great off-speed right there from Fernando Fernandez. Got Carrington lunging at that one and came up empty on the swing.
Fernandez ready on 0-2. And just off the plate with the breaking ball. One and 2 count on Carrington again. And good location. Doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire, and it's 2-2.
Deep breath for Fernando Fernandez out there on the mound, trying to refocus himself and zone back in on the strike zone after that one missed to Greg Carrington.
Another deep breath on the mound. The Majors lefty comes set. Here is the 2-2, ripped into right field for a base hit. Joseph over quickly to pick it up. Carrington will round first, but he'll head back to first with a 1-out single here for the Leafs.
Yeah, Fernandez nearly had the strikeout a couple of times in that at-bat, and then Greg Carrington did a great job laying off some tough pitches and battling at the plate, able to find a pitch he liked and drove it between the first and second baseman for a base hit.
Just the second hit for the Leafs, third of the ball game. Carrington takes his lead at first. And pounding the zone with the strike to begin the at-bat is Fernandez. Vinicio 1 for 1, singled, walked. Couple of stolen bases to his credit as well. Now on the ground, shortstop. Candell bobbles it, and it goes into left field.
That's a tough play for Keith Candell, the Majors shortstop, ranging to his right, took a high bounce and skipped off his glove. He was thinking about turning two or at least getting one with the speedy Vinicio running from the batter's box and speedy Carrington on his way to second base. He knew he was going to have to transfer quickly and moved a little bit too quick with that glove, allowing the ball to get into left field. He'll be charged with an error on that play.
Knew the speed of Carrington and Vinicio and knew that he had to be quick to the ball and quick with his throw if he wanted to get it out. But it goes bounding off his glove into left field. And now the Leafs will have Castaldo to the plate with a runner at first and second. Still just one out here in this inning. And that one's going to miss low to begin the at-bat to Castaldo.
Fernandez has done a good job of wiggling his way out of some jams earlier in this ball game. It's a tough one, though. One away, two runners on, one of them in scoring position. Good speed at both first and second.
Looks back, comes to the plate, and it's upstairs, 2-0.
There is action in the London Majors bullpen right now. Looks like Daniel Gore loosening up for London. Fernandez at 74 pitches through 4 1/3 innings. Get a look at it. There it is, Daniel Gore getting loose, still in the early stages of warming up. So for now, at least through the next few batters, likely through John Salazzo, it'll be up to Fernandez.
Hit in the air, left field, ranging over, and it's dropped. And it's going to be a fair ball called by the umpire. Everybody is safe.
That was a very tough play for Drew Lawrence, a hard one to read. Off the bat, it looked like it was hit pretty hard by Jordan Castaldo, but in reality, there wasn't a ton on that knock. It was flared into left field. Drew Lawrence charged to the side originally, thinking it was hit pretty hard on a line, and he was going to be able to track that one down, make the grab. But because there wasn't much mustard on it, it wound up sinking on him. He had to charge in and could not hold on to that baseball. What he did was, and we'll see it on the replay, he touched it in fair territory. You see it right there. Touches it in fair and then drops it in foul. We'll see if we can roll that back for you right now. Castaldo off the bat, it looks like it's a hard hit ball down the left field line. But Drew Lawrence was unable to make that grab because of how softly it was hit. He had to charge in, couldn't make the play on it, and that allows Castaldo to reach.
So the base is loaded for the Leafs, one out now. Justin Mara to the plate, and it's going to be up to Fernando Fernandez here. Is the bullpen not ready yet?
No, we mentioned when we gave you a look at that bullpen, Daniel Gore was still doing his long toss, not quite ready to come in this spot. So it'll be up to Fernandez, likely until just after John Salazzo.
Corners in for the Majors here. They'll try to protect if it's hit hard to first or third. The first pitch outside to Mara. 1-0.
That one off the plate outside to the Leafs power hitting catcher. Fernandez trying to locate the strike zone and maybe roll a 2-ball in this spot.
ripped but foul down the right field line. Great job by Fernandez to get back in the count. Now 1-1.
Justin Mara well ahead of that one. Ripping it down the right field side, but well foul.
One ready. Fernandez, the look, the delivery. This one popped up. Wright's going to have to run it down the line in foul territory. Makes the catch. A huge second out there for the Majors.
A moment of stress for London as for a second you weren't sure whether Drew Lawrence was going to have to track that ball down, whether Taylor Wright was going to get there. But luckily it stayed close enough to the infield that Taylor Wright was the man who had a beat on that baseball, ventured out into the outfield, went into foul territory. Would have been an infield fly if fair. It was in foul. Wright made the grab, and that's a huge second out for London.
So Marcus Connect now. Majors not out of it yet. Here on the top of the fifth. As another huge bat comes to the plate for the Leafs with the bases loaded. Now 2 outs.
Not only is it a huge bat, it's a huge righty bat. Marcus Connect, though he's 0 for 2 in the ball game, hit his first ball in play. A line drive to left field, very hard.
Fastball begins the at-bat from Fernandez.
A little extra zip on that pitch, it looked like, for Fernando Fernandez, painting the inside. This may be the last inning for Fernando, so he's going to give everything he's got in the next few at-bats.
Rolling in Fernandez on the same page, and a swing and a miss.
Great pitch right there by Fernando, an off-speed that gets Connect to chase. Now well ahead 0-2. The issue he had with Marcus Connect at the plate the last time, he struggled to put him away in a 2-strike count. Well ahead in this spot. We'll see if he can do it here.
Fans clapping along here to try and help Fernando Fernandez through the top of the fifth. Oh, 2 count on Marcus Connect. Swing and a miss. Huge strikeout for Fernando Fernandez. Strands the bases loaded in the top of the fifth inning.
Fernando firing up the crowd as he walks off the field. He found himself in an impossible spot. Bases loaded, 1 out. He gets the pop out to Taylor Wright in foul territory and gets Marcus Connect via the strikeout. The Majors somehow tightrope their way out of that inning without allowing a run. The game remains scoreless.
A scoreless ball game heading to the bottom of the fifth. It has been entertaining, to say the least, here in Game 5 of the IBL Finals. A reminder to all of you watching at home, if you're new to the channel, new to watching London Majors Baseball, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or new this year on TikTok as well. Of course, hit that subscribe button in YouTube.
Yes, we do ask that you do that. Subscribe to London Majors if you are not already. TikTok has become one of the more interesting ventures for the London Majors this season. It's provided us with some great content and really helps fans and us as broadcasters get to know the players a little bit, kind of see their personalities, see a different side of the guys that you wouldn't normally get a chance to see when they're on the field.
Andrew Wark has done a fantastic job with that Majors TikTok and all of the Majors social media over the summer as well. He is now back to school, so we miss him. We miss him here at the ballpark.
We miss you, Warky. We tell you every once in a while, we mention on the broadcast that we miss Andrew Wark down here at Labatt, and that's the case again here tonight. We miss the TikTok content he brings and his fun presence in the press box.
Fun presence is a good way to put it. Ready for the bottom half of the fifth inning here at Labatt Park. Newton, Lawrence, Wright, 1, 2, 3 for the Majors, due up to lead off the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, the top of the order for the Majors has not done a ton in this ball game. Jacob Newton has a walk in the contest. That was in his last plate appearance, but the only hit for the Majors comes from Dan Perrier. It's possible that after Fernandez got out of that inning in a spot where no one really expected him to without allowing a run, maybe the Majors can ride some of that momentum. The crowd was excited. Fernando was excited as he went back into the dugout. So maybe the Majors offense, the top of the order, is a good spot to start that, can feed off of it and get something going for London.
Majors into the Leafs bullpen as the first pitch will miss outside from Jacober. Took over in the bottom of the fourth for this Toronto Maple Leafs pitching staff. Inside to Newton. He was offering at it. They're going to appeal down to third, but say he held up in time. Count moves to 2-0.
Yeah, worth a check there for the Maple Leafs, but Jacob Newton does not go around, says third base umpire Rob Stevenson, so he's got a great hitter's count now, well ahead against Jacober.
Jacober, the 2-0, and this one will miss low. 3 balls, no strikes to begin the inning. Begin the at-bat to Newton.
Newton wouldn't mind taking a second walk here.
Comes right at him on 3-0, finds the strike zone. 3-1 on the Majors leadoff man. And now he'll draw the walk. So the Majors have the leadoff man aboard. It's yet another walk, but they'll take it. Newton goes to first.
It was a rather unorthodox sequence right there for Dylan Jacober. He was working very, very quickly on that last pitch. Got the ball back right on the mound, nodded, got the sign, threw the pitch, and it was inside to Jacob Newton, and we're going to get ourselves a pinch hitter in this contest for the London Majors, and it is Chris McQueen.
So Chris McQueen will come to the plate in replace of Drew Lawrence. Lawrence was 0 for 2, struck out once.
McQueen 3 for 8 in the playoffs, 4 runs scored. Has mostly been used as a pinch runner, getting a chance to hit here against Jacober. Rup Chanardad going for the lefty versus righty matchup.
Salazzo in at third base to protect against the bunt, and that is what McQueen will do, but he pulls back in time, 1-0.
Not only do you get the lefty-righty matchup, but Chris McQueen is a very talented bunter as well. So if the plan for the Majors is to use that small ball, try to bunt Newton over to second base, McQueen's a guy who can lay down a bunt, and a very good one at that.
Newton with the lead at first. McQueen holds back on a pitch that will miss off the plate, now 2-0.
It's no secret that Chris McQueen is looking to bunt here. He squared around twice. John Salazzo playing in, protecting against it. Ran way in on that last square round for Chris McQueen. If there was a ball that was bunted, there's a chance they might have had a shot at second base.
Jacober looks to one. Newton's going to go. A swing and a miss. The throw down. Not in time to get him.
A hit and run looked to be on there for the Majors. McQueen took a healthy hack at it, and Newton gets into second base. Close play over at second, but Newton dives in safely. So the Majors have a runner in scoring position. That does not necessarily mean that Chris McQueen won't bunt here. It's still possible we see McQueen try to lay one down to move Newton up to third base. We'll see what Casey David Pullum and Rup Chanardad opt to do.
So McQueen now in a 2-1 count. Newton up to second base now. Leafs still protecting against the bunt, pardon me, as Jacober will step off, and now Justin Marr will come out. They're going to want to chat things over.
Yeah, they want to make sure that they are on the same page for this next pitch. It's going to be a big one, whether McQueen elects to bunt or not. If he squares around, you want to make sure that he can't get one down, and if he does, it's not going to be a good pitch. However, you have to account for the possibility that he may be swinging and the bunt is off. So Jacober and Marr just want to talk things over, make sure they know what the other wants to throw in this spot so they can execute it properly against McQueen.
Squaring around again, and this one will miss outside. 3-1.
Now Chris McQueen laying off of that one, squared around, pulled right back. 3-1 count. It's a hitter's count, likely going to have to come into the strike zone. We'll see if the bunt's still on in this spot. We saw the Majors take it off on 2-0. 3-1, I think, with one strike, you don't want to take the risk that he misses it and you can't bunt again.
And he'll look at ball 4. So Chris McQueen is aboard now. Jacober walks him. And the Majors have runners at first and second now to begin the bottom of the 5th.
Well, that works out well for the Majors. They're able to move Jacob Newton up into scoring position at second base, and Chris McQueen will reach first with the walk. So the Majors now have 2 runners on in this spot with nobody out. The one thing it does do for Toronto is it puts the force on at any base, and that's going to lead to a mound visit, I believe, from Dustin Richardson.
Yeah, it looks like that's who's coming out to the mound here for the Leafs to chat things over with Jacober and the rest of the infield. If you're the Leafs here, I think this has got to be about approach and just, a second of break on the mound. There's no chance that Taylor Wright is looking to bunt here, is there?
I don't think so. He's going over to talk to Casey David Pullum, so it's possible they're trying to do a little decoy. I don't know. Maybe nobody's exempt to this right now because the Majors need runs. They need offense. They only scored 1 in the last game. But I don't know. Taylor Wright is not the guy I would bunt with personally. I wouldn't be shocked if he does square around.
Wright has been one of your better hitters in the lineup.
Hitting .412 in the playoffs.
.412 in the playoffs. And listen, if hits over the last 2 games were coming a little bit easier, then maybe you think about bunting him. The Majors have just 1 base hit in the ball game so far. I say you got to let him swing.
He's got lots of pop. 16 runs batted into the postseason, 25 in the regular season. 2 runners on. This is a huge spot.
Jacober ready. He's got runners at first and second, nobody out. Wright does square around, but he pulls back on a pitch that's up in the zone.
I mentioned it before this pitch. Maybe nobody's exempt to this right now. The Majors need runs. They need to move runners over any way they can. If Taylor Wright has to lay a bunt down to get 2 runners into scoring position, Majors are looking at that possibility right now.
1-0 there for a strike, and we're even up at 1-1 in the count to Taylor Wright.
That one caught the outside corner. Not a bad pitch to bunt on, actually, if the bunt was still on for the Majors. Right there, Taylor does not square around, so count as a ball and a strike.
1-1, squares around, gets it down, and it rolls foul.
Looks for a moment like not a bad bunt from Taylor Wright, but it will trickle foul. So now he's not going to be squaring around. He's not going to be bunting in this spot on a 1-2 count. Wright, not necessarily a guy you usually see bunt. We'll see what he can do swinging away.
When you got Robert Mullen and Cleveland Brownlee behind you with nobody out, it's not a bad idea for sure, but unable to get the bunt down. Count now to 1-2. Wright steps back in the box on that left side, swings and hits one on the ground, but foul over at first base. Castaldo made the pick, but count stays at 1-2.
Right ahead of that one, bouncing it down the first baseline just into foul territory. Castaldo with a nice scoop, as you mentioned, Noah, but foul ball.
So right back into the batter's box here. It's another 1-2 count coming. Jacober looks back at second. To the plate, called strike 3. Huge strikeout there for Jacober and the Leafs, and there's one gone.
That one must have caught the inside corner. It looked like it was maybe a little too far inside on Taylor Wright, but home plate umpire Chris Walters says otherwise, calls strike 3, and that's a huge first out for Jacober and the Leafs. Double play has been in order for Taylor Wright and now Robert Mullen with 1 out. The double play ends the inning here.
Robert Mullen is 0 for 2. did drill one out to left field earlier on in the ball game. Takes that first pitch inside from Jacober, missing off the inner portion of the plate, 1-0. Newton at second. Chris McQueen is at first. The curveball inside, up again to Mullen.
Yeah, that breaking ball broke a little bit too high on Robert Mullen. Missed the strike zone. So we'll see what he can do in a 2-0 count. Great spot for a big power hitter at the plate.
Jacober ready. Checks back. Ready. The 2-0. Mullen straight back into the screen. A foul ball.
Breaking ball. He got a piece, lined it straight at the backstop, so he was right on it. Count moves to 2-1.
Fans trying to cheer along the majors here. The 2-1. It's off the plate. Now 3 balls and a strike on Robert Mullen.
That one misses to Mullen, so way ahead in this count at 3-1.
Jacober, the 3-1. And that one's there for a strike. Now the count is full.
That one right in there on Robert Mullen. So the count moves to full with 1 away.
Big full count pitch coming here to the majors catcher, Robert Mullen. Jacober the sign. Deals. Mullen in the air, left field. In front of the track is Carrington, and he'll make the catch for the second out.
Another at-bat where Robert Mullen has given a baseball a pretty long ride out to left field. And Greg Carrington, a little less difficulty with this one than the last one that was right up against the wall. Able to track it down, make the catch.
Second time tonight that Robert Mullen has just missed a baseball. Kept it in the yard both times. And now the majors, who had runners at first and second, nobody out, have found themselves in a spot where they're going to need Cleveland Brownlee to come up clutch with 2 outs. Cleveland's 0 for 2. Jacober, first pitch, and it's called a strike on the inside corner.
Cleveland thought that was a ball. I think he was trying to argue that it was low, but did not get the call he was looking for. Cleveland, a big man at the plate. And oftentimes those calls at the knees don't go his way.
Now 0-1 here on the majors, DH. Jacober, curveball, ripped down the line. Oh, and it's a foul ball. Brownlee just about had a base hit down the line. Missed it by a matter of inches.
Cleveland Brownlee scorched that baseball down the third base line. Just did go foul, according to the third base umpire. It was close. And now Mara and Jacober will talk about the next pitch.
They've got Cleve up 0-2. Now the discussion is, what are they going to do to try and strike him out? Jacober now 0-2 on Brownlee. Well outside, that one's going to skip past Mara. And everybody is up 90 feet. McQueen to second, Newton to third. Count 1-2.
Good job by Newton and McQueen moving up 90 feet right there. Newton took a hard turn around third, and Cleveland Brownlee did not chase that pitch. So he'll stay alive in a 1-2 count.
And once again, Mahler out there to chat things over with Jacober.
They really want to make sure they get on the same page and get this right because of how big this spot is, because they know the magnitude of the guy who's up at the plate. They need an out here.
Now 1-2 on Brownlee. Now a couple of men up in scoring position for the Majors. Jacober ready. And this one's going to skip to the backstop. In comes Newton to score the first run of this ball game. It's 1-0 Majors.
Boy, oh boy, 2 straight mound visits for the Maple Leafs, and that one skips in once again. 2 straight that go to the backstop allow Newton and McQueen to move up another 90 feet each. This one allows Newton to come in to score. And the Majors take a 1-0 lead in unorthodox fashion with just 1 hit on the scoreboard.
No hits in the inning, and the Majors bring a run across. And now time called at the plate by Cleveland. Jacober still trying to get out of this inning, now with just the 1 run on the board. Curveball, Brownlee in the air, center field. It's off the end of the bat. Lewis is underneath it. And the Majors will get just the 1, but it is a big one. It's the first run here of this ball game. We're through 5 complete here in London. A look to end off the inning at what gave the Majors that 1-0 lead. Coming in to score, Jacob Newton, and a huge way to get a run in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 London after 5 here in Game 5 of the IBL Finals.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back to Labatt Park for the 6th inning between the Majors and the Maple Leafs in Game 5 of the Intercounty Baseball League Finals. Majors scored the first run of this ball game in the bottom of the 5th on a wild pitch, and Fernando Fernandez is back out to the mound, Noah.
Yeah, he's back there to the mound. We were unsure after he got into a little bit of trouble himself on the top of the 5th if we would see him back out here for the top half of the 6th inning now. But I think that extra run maybe helps that decision a little bit. Now you're no longer going to give up the go-ahead run on just 1 run. It's just a 1-0 lead, but in the ball game, the way it's been going, it feels so big.
Huge the Majors get on the board first. Fernando Fernandez will have to face John Salazzo. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Perhaps part of the reason that the Majors leave Fernandez in this ball game is the first pitch will miss low for ball 1.
Yeah, pitch count not anywhere that it's in danger of being super high. Just over 80 pitches coming into this inning.
Fernandez sets on the mound. Here's the offering to Salazzo. Just off the outside corner, ball 2.
He's got Salazzo to strike out once already in the ball game as well.
Going to look to do it again here. But behind in the count 2-0 is Fernandez. That pitch will miss high. 3 balls and no strikes. Daniel Gore still loosening in the Majors bullpen.
Loose and likely ready as well.
Roop Chanadad steps out of the dugout, takes a look down to see where Gore is at. Fernandez sets on the mound. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Salazzo, low and inside, ball 4. So Fernandez could not retire Salazzo. Ruchena with a peek to the bullpen, and now he is on his way out with Connor Lewis stepping up to the plate. Looks like that may be the end of the night for Fernando Fernandez.
Yeah, Dylan Roop's coming out here. I think we're going to get a pitching change as we kind of expected. We're going to bring Fernandez out to face the lefty, see if he can get him and aid Gore a little bit. Wait and see if they make the move.
Fernandez possibly trying to talk his way into staying in this ball game. Ruchena giving him some props for a great outing. So Fernandez will exit. Gore on his way in as Fernandez heads off for the majors.
Capturing emotion in every
Welcome back to Labatt Park. New arm on the mound for the London Majors. Noah, it is Daniel Gore taking over. It's his second outing of the series. He pitched very well in his first, inspiring confidence in Roop Chanardad and Brent Wales to go back to him, this time in relief of the lefty, Fernando Fernandez.
Yeah, they're going to bring Daniel Gore into the ball game here. When we talked to Roop Chanardad before the game, Dylan, this is kind of where we saw this game going in terms of next in order. It was going to be Gore, and then after that, we'll see what the game is like. But Daniel Gore, 1.50 ERA in just 3 games so far in the postseason. The ERA was a little bit elevated in the regular season for London, but 25 innings pitched over 9 games. He was a big part of making sure that they could bridge some of those ball games, a couple of spot starts as well, and now comes into this ball game here, inheriting a runner at first base, nobody out in the top of the 6th.
So as mentioned, John Salazzo stands over at first for Toronto. Connor Lewis into the batter's box. Fernando Fernandez finishes at 85 pitches in the ball game. The runner at first is his responsibility. Majors lead by a score of 1-0. Toronto out hitting London 3-1. Gore sets on the mound. First pitch squaring around to bunt is Lewis. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count.
Great job by Gore to get ahead here. As mentioned, Salazzo at first. The leadoff man in the inning was walked by Fernando Fernandez. So Gore right away works from the stretch.
Comes set once again, the 0-1 squaring around Lewis. It's a breaking ball, and he's going to bunt that one foul. So the count is 0-2.
Fantastic work there by Gore. Just coming right at the batter, coming right at Connor Lewis with the curveball that time on 0-1.
So ahead of the Maple Leaf center fielder, no balls and 2 strikes. Likely not bunting here. Coming set Gore, ahead of Lewis, 0-2. Here's the pitch on its way, in the air, foul. Lewis fights it off.
Went fastball that time, up in the zone. Lewis was able to get a pretty good piece of it, but fouled it back into the screen.
No balls, 2 strikes. Salazzo stands over at first base. Gore sets out there on the mound. Here's the pitch home. Breaking ball. Lewis slices it down the left field line, chasing after it. The left fielder, Chris McQueen, bobbles it a little bit. Getting the wave around third is Salazzo. Here's the throw to the plate from Candell. It's there. It's not in time. First base umpire Mike Guthrow coming in. And John Salazzo gets under the tag of Robert Mullen. Toronto is tied and it's 1-1.
Huge hit there by Lewis at the plate, ripping one down the left field line. He's into second base with the double. Coming all the way around to score is Salazzo. Here's another look. Salazzo getting the wave right away from Takamatsu as he comes around third. It's touch and go on his way to the plate. And here you're going to see the throw come in from Robert Mullen. And he's just late getting Salazzo, who's underneath the tag and in with his feet, safe to tie this ball game at 1.
So 1-1 game now in the top of the 6th inning. With Connor Lewis in scoring position, Dan Mara steps into the batter's box. Definitely a guy who will not hesitate to bunt. Gore sets on the mound, peeks back at second base. Offering on its way, bunted by Mara. It's a good one, right coming in from third. On the run throw, pulls Newton off the bag. No, he stayed on. A good play by Jacob Newton over at first base, and that'll be the first out of the top of the 6th.
Wow, what a play by Taylor Wright coming on from third. And a nice play to get that one over, but Newton, who was covering, was just able to stay on the bag, and that's the call from the first base umpire right now. The Leafs can't believe it.
Jeff Rose telling the bench to get back there. They all came marching out asking Garrett Takamatsu to get the umpires together, and Takamatsu will do just that. Here's a look at the replay on your screen. Did Newton come off the bag?
It's close. Listen, on first look, Dylan, I thought that his foot might have come off the bag, but as I get a closer look there, I can see how tough that is to call. And if you're the home plate umpire, Chris Walters here, this is a tough overturn of your first base umpire.
Well, Mike Guthrow was doing most of the talking, now nodding along. Call is out, so the call will stand. Dan Mara is retired on the sacrifice bunt. And with one away, Toronto has a runner over at third base.
It's a big out for the Majors, but a run moves up to third base for the Leafs. In a ball game that is now tied at 1.
So Toppoli steps into the batter's box. Go ahead run at third base, infield in. First pitch misses low from Daniel Gore, ball 1. The offering, swing and a miss. A ball and a strike now.
Great job, works it back, and now the count even up at 1-1.
1-1 home, breaking ball. It's a good one from Gore, but it doesn't get the call. 2 balls and a strike.
Two and 1 here on Toppoli, Dylan, and you got to remember Toppoli over 2 in the ball game.
That one on the ground at third base. Wright's going to have to come home with it. The throw is high. The tag. Down in time. They get Lewis. A good play by Taylor Wright and a good tag by Robert Mullen, getting up and then getting down to apply it. 2 away with a runner at first.
Well, the Majors are back in a tie ball game now with the Leafs scoring this inning, Dylan. But let me tell you, if it wasn't for the play of Taylor Wright at third base, this inning could be an entirely different direction. Of course, that's first out on the bunt, and then that second out coming home. 2 plays where there's not a whole lot of margin for error. And Taylor Wright did a fantastic job getting the Majors outs 1 and 2.
So Greg Carrington into the batter's box now against Gore. Toppoli stands over at first base. Not an overly big lead. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Gore falling behind a little bit here. Got to focus up. He's gotten through the real troublesome parts of this inning now, and now he's just looking for the final out.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike on Carrington. It's 2-1.
Good location there by Gore, inside corner. Tough one to swing at for Carrington, but it's right there for a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch home in there. Strike 2 to Carrington.
2-2 now after falling behind 2-0. Gore's just going right at him.
Gore looks in for the sign. Comes set out there on the mound. Topley standing over at first base. Carrington ready in the box. Here's the pitch home. Time called at the last second. It was right down Broadway, but it won't count. I believe Carrington called time.
Called time and really a little bit late, but not overly late there. And good job by Gore to just follow through and finish the pitch.
Gore looks in for the sign, shakes once, twice, peeks back at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count, pitch on its way, breaking ball. Carrington rips it to right field, chasing after it. Joseph, he won't get there, it gets down in front of him. The throw goes into second base, where Candell will make the grab, and all of a sudden there are runners at the corners for Toronto with 2 away on another 2-strike hit for Greg Carrington.
That's a big 2-strike hit as he laces that one down the right field line. Actually ended up dropping fairly quickly in front of Starling Joseph. Only play he could do was just get that in as quickly as he could. Carrington at first, Topley at third. Back to the top of the Leafs order here with 2 outs.
So Jose Vinicio will dig into the batter's box. Daniel Gore on the mound looking to retire the final man of this inning. Vinicio 1 for 2 today. Time called. Mullen will relay signs to the infield in case Carrington is on the move. And in case the Maple Leafs try to sneak Topley home. Tie ball game, 1 aside. Gore looks in. Vinicio looking out, ready in the box. First pitch home, breaking ball outside corner, strike 1. Vinicio laughing at the plate.
That was on the outside corner. I think Vinicio was trying to say that it broke around the plate. If it did, it was pretty close on the outside edge. Still 0-1.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Runners at the corners here for Toronto. Vinicio looks out. Pitch from Gore, ripped into right field. It's going to get down. It's going to score Topley. Toronto's got the lead. Carrington hustling into third base. Joseph's throw gets into Jacob Newton, and the Maple Leafs take a 2-1 lead.
Leafs their first lead of the ball game. 2 runs here in the top of the 6th inning off of Daniel Gore out of the Majors bullpen. And this will get a visit from the Majors pitching coach, Brent Wales.
And it'll also get action in the London Majors bullpen as the Majors need to find a way out of this inning and keep this game right where it's at. They trail by 1 right now.
Farrington begins to throw in the Majors bullpen, and you get a glimpse there on your screen in a bit of a rush as well. Majors can sense that Gore maybe has, at best, 1 more batter here, especially going through the heart of this Leafs order. The Majors have 1 run done on 1 hit tonight. This is not a ball game where you can afford to fall behind by 2 or 3 runs this late.
So Jordan Castaldo digs into the batter's box, and we talked to Rube Chenadat before the game about the pitching plans in this contest, and one of the things he said was he had hoped to use Farrington to close it out, assuming the Majors had the lead. Right now, they are in survival mode. down by a score of 2-1. In the top of the 6th inning, runners at the corners, 2 out. Benicio stands at first, Carrington at third. This may be a spot where the Leafs try to pull a first and third play and sneak home that runner from third base. Benicio's got a healthy lead over at first. Gore ready, he's on the move. In the air, center field, Wilkie ranging back in left center. Calling off the left fielder to the warning track. He runs that one down, makes the grab, and will retire the side. But Toronto responds. They get a pair and take the lead. It's 2-1 Maple Leafs.
Big out there for the Majors to get out of that inning, but 2 runs for the Leafs, as you mentioned there, Dylan. We'll give them the lead as we head to the bottom half of the inning.
So the Majors going to have to respond now. They'll have Starling Joseph, Dan Perrier, Austin Wilkie. Perrier has the 1 hit for the Majors in this ball game. So perhaps the Majors can spark something in this frame. So Dylan Jacober back out there for his 3rd inning of work. Had some trouble with his control in the last frame, which allowed the Majors to score a run, but overall has been pretty good coming in relief of Sam Green, Noah.
He's done a pretty good job so far, and now he'll head out to the mound with a lead. We'll see if that creates a little bit of a different pitcher on the mound as well. Sometimes guys can bring a little extra on the fastball, a little bit extra break on the curveball when they have a lead. Know that they're protecting the lead, and that's what Jacober will have, a 2-1 Toronto Maple Leafs lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Again, it'll be Joseph, Perrier, Wilkie for London. Down a run to the Maple Leafs, who are out hitting them 6-1 in this contest. Dan Perrier with the lone hit. He bounced a ball over the head of John Salazzo at third base. And that's been the only time the Majors have broken into the hit column as Justin Mara throws down to second. Jacober's ready over on the mound. And Starling Joseph ready to walk out to the plate here at Labatt Park.
We'll see if this ball game changes at all, Dylan. Scoreless to begin the game. And then the Majors picked up a run in the bottom of the 5th. The Leafs 2 in the top of the 6th. You got to wonder if the gates have opened a little bit here and if now the offense will come.
So Jacober looks in for the sign from Justin Mara. First pitch of Starling Joseph, chopped on the ground over the head of Jacober. Going to be a tough play. Salazzo, bare hand throw to first, not in time. Joseph in with a dive.
That was going to be a tough play right away for the Leafs infield. Jacober really kind of the only guy off the hop that had a chance if he came off the mound and got it cleanly, but Salazzo at third certainly was going to need to get it super quick, super clean for a chance to get Joseph, and I don't even know if Benicio would have had a shot at getting the Majors right fielder coming down the line. Just the second hit of the ball game for London, and it begins the inning, putting a runner aboard.
It's a good hustle by Starling Joseph. Now quickly we see somebody in the chat disputing the claim that this is the world's oldest baseball grounds. It holds the Guinness World Record, Labatt Park does, for the longest active baseball grounds in the world. Been in use since 1877. Plenty of renovations.
Home plate has changed locations since it started, but that's why it is the world's oldest continually operating baseball grounds.
Starling Joseph right now getting all set up at first base. Mike Guthrow trying to ensure that the play does not continue here because they're not quite ready, and the Majors have a pinch hitter taking over for Dan Perrier, who right before that Starling at bat had the only hit for the Majors in this ball game. It is Gibson Kreminski off the bench. Kreminski, a switch hitter, started in Game 4 for London and Toronto. Drove in the only Majors run in that ball game. Joseph a healthy lead over at first. Jacober thinking the same thing. Throws it over to the bag in the dirt. Castaldo couldn't block it. Got away from him, but Joseph won't move up.
Yeah, not nearly far enough for Joseph to even think about going to second, especially with nobody out here for the Majors.
Correction, Gibson Kraminski did not drive in the only run for the Majors. He scored the only run for the Majors in Game 4. Joseph standing over at first base. Jacober ready. Here's the pitch. Kraminski squares to bunt and yanks it foul.
Interesting to see the Majors playing for a run with the sacrifice bunt on. Still a lot of baseball to play here in the 6th inning.
Jacober peeks over his shoulder at Joseph. Right at the cut of the grass is Starling. Jacober holds on. Kraminski squares, pulls back, called strike. Kraminski can't believe it.
Pulled back on a pitch on the outside portion of the plate that looked like it caught the outside edge. Whether or not it was on the right plane in terms of height, tough to tell from up here. Nonetheless, Kraminski's got an 0-2 count that he's got to deal with now, and he's got to put that last pitch behind him.
Kraminski ready in the batter's box. 0-2 count, pitch on its way, line drive, up the middle, a base hit. Joseph hustles into second, rounds hard, but won't move up. It's a single for Gibson Kraminski with 2 strikes, and the Majors are in business. 2 men on, nobody out.
Yeah, who needs the bunt anyways? Kraminski 0-2, and he lines one right back up the middle for a base hit. And now the Majors in business, a couple of runners on to begin the inning, down by 1.
So Austin Wilkie will step into the batter's box here for London. 0-2 in the ball game for the Majors. A strikeout looking and a strikeout swinging. Joseph stands in scoring position. Kraminski over at first base. Nobody out on the bottom of the 6th inning. Dylan Jacober on the mound for Toronto. He looks in for the sign. And comes set, peeks back at second, squaring around Wilkie, gets the bunt down. It's going to stay fair. It's a beautiful bunt. He might beat it out at first. The throw's not in time. Bases loaded for the Majors. Austin Wilkie laid down a beautiful bunt. Salazzo was going to let it roll foul, but it never did. Everybody's safe.
Well, the Majors have found their way on base again here to begin this inning. This time they've actually got a couple of hits on the board, one up the middle, and that one did not leave the infield. A bunt single for Austin Wilkie. The bases are loaded for Keith Candell, but before that, we will get a visit from Garrett Takamatsu out to the mound for the Maple Leafs.
So Takamatsu coming out either to talk to Jacober or to bring Franklin Hernandez out of the bullpen in the bottom of the 6th inning. He is loosening up out there. Takamatsu talking to his righty. Hernandez loosening up. And that'll be all for Dylan Jacober. So with the bases loaded and nobody out, the Maple Leafs will bring in their lights-out closer in the bottom of the 6th inning. Franklin Hernandez takes the hill when we come back. You're watching Game 5 of the IBL Finals on MajorsTV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. The Nagua Dominican Republic native Franklin Hernandez is out to the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking to keep the Majors off the scoreboard with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Garrett Takamatsu is going to employ some modern-day baseball wisdom here, and he's going to go with his high-leverage arm in the high-leverage spots. This time it just happens to be in the bottom of the sixth inning, and the Leafs sensing now that if they don't shut the Majors down here, they might not have another chance with the lead. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Hernandez comes into the ball game. 7 games in the playoffs, 9.2 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, and the ERA sits at 0. He has been lights out.
He's been fantastic all season long for Toronto in the playoffs, in the regular season. And now he's going to need to keep the Majors off the scoreboard in a big spot. These runners all belong to Dylan Jacober, but it's up to Franklin Hernandez to keep them from scoring. This game has turned into a battle of the bullpens. After Fernandez was lifted, Green only went 3 innings, but Jacober took over and performed well.
Majors can't try to do too much here. Bases loaded, nobody out, and you've got a guy on the mound who strikes out nearly 2 every inning he takes to the hill. You got to put the ball in play. The Leafs are going to bring the infield in. Whether or not they can turn 2 or not, they're going to try to at least get the lead out at the plate.
Keith Candell steps into the batter's box for London. 0 for 1 in the ball game today, a walk and a ground out. Infield in. Hernandez gets the sign he wants. Comes set. First pitch to Candell. High, ball 1.
Electric fastball from the Leafs righty. If I'm Candell here, I'm going to wait till he brings me one.
Coming set is Hernandez. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes.
And I'll stay with that here if you're a Candell. Listen, you got a guy coming out of the bullpen here in a tough, high-leverage situation. You got to make sure he throws a strike to you.
2-0 the count. From the stretch, Hernandez again. Low, in the dirt, to the backstop. Coming home, Joseph. He's going to score, and the ball is lodged in the netting above the backstop, which will send Kraminski back to third base. So 3-0 count, and the Majors score another run on a wild pitch.
2-2 ball game now, and as you mentioned there, the Majors 2 runs coming in on wild pitches to the backstop in 2 separate innings. And this is a good spot for the Majors now, 3-0 obviously. Hernandez has struggled to find the strike zone against Candell. Top of the order is on deck.
Newton waits on deck, crowd getting on Hernandez. Here's the 3-0 home, in the dirt, ball 4. Keith Candell walks. That'll set up a force at every base, including home. Bases loaded for Jacob Newton.
Yeah, he said it came into the ball game here. Hernandez, he pitched in that 2-1 game. 2 innings for the Leafs on Sunday at Christie Pits. But now 4 pitches and a walk. And once again, I say to Newton, you got to make him come to you.
First pitch from Hernandez. In there for a strike. So after 4 straight wide ones to Keith Candell, the first pitch to Jacob Newton is in the zone. Shaking once is Hernandez. He's got the sign he wants now. 0-1 count to Newton. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Mara. 1-1.
Mara getting his work in behind the plate now. Through the first 6 pitches from Hernandez out of the bullpen. Count even at 1-1.
Hernandez sets on the mound. Newton ready in the batter's box. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Mara, not far enough. Kept it near him. Kreminski can't move up.
It's almost like you can feel the heartbeats from up here, Dylan. Everyone's hearts racing as they saw that one in the dirt. Kreminski, good heads-up play. He started going but got no more than a couple of strides before he saw how far it was, and he scrambled back to third. This is a situation, keep in mind, you're tied now at 2. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the inning, and you got a pitcher who's really struggling to find the strike zone. You cannot be making outs on the base paths.
So 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Jacob Newton at the plate. 0 for 1 today. Ahead in this trip. Hernandez ready on the mound. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Newton swings over top of it. It's 2-2.
Man, that curveball is nasty out of the hand of Hernandez. So much break, so quick, and he locates it so well.
Two and two, nobody out. Bases loaded for Jacob Newton. Hernandez readies. Time called by Newton at the plate. Get a look at Gibson Kreminski over there standing at third base. He's ready if another one finds its way to the backstop. 2-2 count. Pitch from Hernandez to Newton. Low, ball 3.
Great take and great eye at the plate there by Jacob Newton. That one was low in the zone. Can be sometimes so easy to chase, especially when you got a 2-strike count, but he lays off. Now the count moves to full.
Hernandez looking in for the sign. Full count to Jacob Newton. Hernandez takes a peek down at the ground. Pitch on its way, breaking ball. Newton spikes it. It's going to get over the infield into right field. 1 run will score. Around third, coming home is Austin Wilkie. There will be no throw home. The ball gets away from Salazzo. Candell will stay at third. The Majors take a 2-run lead on a high chopper out of the infield for Jacob Newton.
Nothing you can do there if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. You got to play the infield in that situation, but that's where it comes back to bite you. It's a chopper off the bat of Jacob Newton that just finds a nice hop over top of Damora at second base and into right field. 2 runs come in to score, and the Majors lead 4-2 now, and they're not done. Runners at second and third, still nobody out.
So still 2 guys in scoring position as Chris McQueen will step into the batter's box. It'll be a single for Jacob Newton that scores 2. He moves up to second on the throw to third base. And Chris McQueen in the batter's box now trying to extend the Majors' lead further.
Infield remains in for the Maple Leafs.
McQueen ready in the batter's box. Hernandez ready on the mound. Still nobody out in the inning. Pitch to McQueen. Late on it, fouls it off.
McQueen throughout his career has been a guy that's been known for putting the ball in play. And this is a time now where that is of utmost importance. Just got to find something in play here.
McQueen looks out. Hernandez looks in, comes set. 0-1 pitch on its way. Low, ball one. Two-two series between the Majors and the Maple Leafs. Majors lead this contest 4-2. Franklin Hernandez looks in for the sign from Justin Mara. Chris McQueen ready in the batter's box. Here comes the 1-1. Taken low, 2-1.
Around the zone, Hernandez has been, but mostly low. Look at those couple of misses that he's had. Obviously the pass ball as well, getting to the backstop, but trying to find that bottom of the strike zone where normally he lives. Just hasn't found it yet.
2-1 count. Two in scoring position. Hernandez ready, nobody out. Pitch to McQueen on its way. In there for a strike, it's 2-2.
And that's the location right there. That is where Hernandez will live in the strike zone. The only danger of working low in the zone is that if you're off by a bit, you run the danger of finding yourself in the dirt.
Hernandez ready on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Pitch on its way, in the dirt, ball 3. Franklin Hernandez has thrown 15 pitches, 5 for strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Nobody out, 2 in scoring position here for McQueen. Pitch on its way, on the ground, played by Castaldo, takes a look over. McQueen might try to beat it out. Candell dashing for the plate, and he's safe! Keith Candell waited for Castaldo to break to first. A mad dash home extends the Majors' lead to 3. It's 5-2.
Fantastic base running by Keith Candell. He got himself, Dylan, about 15, 20 feet off the bag at third. Saw Castaldo pick it up. Castaldo looked him back, but then as soon as he turned to run to first base, Keith Candell took off, and with his speed, it was enough to beat the throw back to the plate and score the 4th run of the inning for London, a 5-2 lead.
So Taylor Wright into the batter's box now for the Majors with 1 away. Jacob Newton still on base, standing at third. Time called. And are they putting Wright on here?
I think they are.
So they'd rather pitch to Robert Mullen. Taylor Wright has been intentionally walked.
Mindset here, Dylan, is obviously put yourself in a situation where a ground ball gets you a double play and gets you out of the inning. With the righty on the mound, they'd rather face the righty at the plate in Robert Mullen as opposed to the lefty in Taylor Wright. It just really comes down to playing the percentages and what puts you in a better position to get out of this inning.
So a ground ball gets the Leafs out of this. If they can turn 2 on Robert Mullen, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game today. Mullen with runners at the corners, 1 away. Mullen, a hitter that batted over 400 in the regular season. A base hit. Scores a run here. The infield is back. Going exclusively for the double play. No worries about the play at the plate. Mullen takes a big hack, comes up empty there.
1 out here in the inning, Dylan, and I might try to get creative if I'm Roop Chander that they put Taylor Wright on to try and get yourself in a double play situation. Why not try a hit and run? Why not try a stolen base? Something to try and throw the Leafs off their game plan.
Right, not a very big lead over at first. Here's the pitch from Hernandez. Low, 1-1.
With that, you also have that Hernandez has been around the zone, hasn't really been throwing a whole lot of strikes. You tell Mullen to swing if it's close. You tell him to take if it's outside, and see if Taylor Wright can steal a bag.
Runner over at first, Taylor Wright. At third, Jacob Newton. Pitch on its way to Mullen. Low and inside, ball 2.
Great eye by Mullen, moves the count to 2-1. Hernandez has been having trouble finding the strike zone.
I believe the crowd's chanting Justin, Leafs catcher Justin Mara. That's my best guess. I don't know. There's a Justin chant, breaking ball. That's up and away. 3-1.
Went to the curveball that time. Hernandez hasn't been able to find the strike zone with the fastball. 20 pitches so far since coming out of the bullpen, just 7 strikes. And now the count's 3-1.
3-1 count to Mullen. The pitch from Hernandez on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Electric fastball there. Got it. Mullen to chase on a pitch that was a little bit outside. Probably would have been called a strike on the outer edge, but now the count's 3-2.
Mullen ready in the batter's box. Runners at the corners, 1 away, full count. We'll see if Wright's maybe in motion on this pitch. He's running. The pitch from Hernandez. Mullen in the air. It's shallow right field. Going to be a tough play. Charging hard is Connect. It's going to drop in. It's a base hit. Coming in to score is Newton. Wright gets up to third. It's a bloop single for Robert Mullen. And the Majors extend the lead. It's 6-2.
That works out perfectly for the Majors. Could have easily gone the other way if that ball carried another 10 feet out to right, but it drops in front of the right fielder Connect. Wright, who was off on the pitch, was able to get to third. Newton was able to come in to score. Runners at the corners, still 1 out, and Cleveland Brownlee comes to the plate in a 6-2 ball game.
Cleveland Brownlee will enter the same spot that Robert Mullen did. Runners at the corners, double play still in order for Toronto if they can induce a ground ball. 6-2 London in the bottom of the 6th inning. Franklin Hernandez ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Brownlee lines that one down the right field line. It's hit pretty well. It's going to be a fair ball down the line. Coming in to score is Wright. Mullen around third. He's getting the wave. Charging hard for the plate. The throw from Mara. Not in time. 2 RBI double. Cleveland Brownlee. Majors lead 8-2.
Leave it up to Cleve to break this thing wide open. A 7-run inning for the Majors. Talk about opening up the gates here. 8-2, the Majors lead. Action down in the Toronto bullpen. The Majors have got to Hernandez as well. And another stroll out to the mound for Garrett Takamatsu.
The na-na-na-na-na-na-na, hey, Cleveland chants roll at Labatt Park, and that's going to be all for Franklin Hernandez in this one. It'll be a call to the bullpen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get you who that is and more when we come back here on Majors TV. Running up, 8-2.
capturing emotion in every.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. This long bottom of the sixth inning continues here at Labatt. One out in the frame, and Franklin Hernandez is going to be lifted for a new arm on the mound. Noah?
Yeah, Toronto left with really no other choice after Hernandez struggled to find the strike zone, Dylan. 23 pitches, just 10 strikes for Hernandez, who's been really lights out all season long. They're going to turn it over, and Nagorski will come in to throw for the Maple Leafs. He's thrown in 6 games so far in the postseason here in 2022. The ERA a little bit elevated for Nagorski, but really what he's going to be relying on too, with the Leafs now trailing by 6, is shutting the door here in this inning and beyond and keeping it at 8 runs for the Majors, and see if the Leafs can mount anything to come back in the 7th and beyond.
There will also be a pinch runner for the Majors as Phil Whalen takes over at second base.
Yeah, we rolled into second base with 2 RBIs.
So Starling Joseph digs into the batter's box for London. Correct me if I'm wrong, Noah, didn't Starling Joseph lead off this 6th inning?
I believe so.
He led off with an infield single to John Salazzo at third base. He dove safely into first, and that's what sparked this Majors rally. First pitch curveball from Chris Nagorski is a called strike.
7 runs across for London here in the inning. An 8-2 lead for the Majors here in Game 5.
Nagorski ready, pitch home. In there for strike 2. Joseph taking all the way on the first 2, and he's behind in the count.
Great job by Nagorski coming out of the bullpen. Your job is to throw strikes, and he's done a good job so far.
Nagorski ready, steps off. Comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch home, breaking ball. Joseph was tempted but did not chase. It's 1-2.
Good eye there by Joseph. Moves the count to 1-2, and now Mara's going to come and chat things over briefly with Nagorski. Just 1 out here in the inning. A runner stands at second base.
Ready in the batter's box, Joseph. Ready on the mound, Nagorski. Pitch coming home, inside, hit Starling. And he will be awarded first base. Looked like that got him up in on the hand or in the arm area. So he will get down to first.
Up and in on 2 strikes there, and it hits Starling Joseph, who was on his way to first base. And Nagorski, who pounded the strike zone with 2 straight strikes to start the at-bat. Lost it a little bit there. Lost the grip on that 1-2 pitch. For the Leafs now, at least, a force on across the infield.
So Gibson Kreminski, who came in as a pinch hitter with the intention of bunting, couldn't get one down, had strike 2 called on him. He felt unjustly, ripped a single right back up the middle, and continued the Majors rally after Joseph let it off in this inning. Here's the pitch, Kreminski late on it, fouls it off, 0-1. Coming set, Nagorski on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Kreminski.
Good cut at that 0-1 pitch on the inside corner by Kreminski, but a little too inside for him to turn it around and do any damage. Now he's going to have to battle on an 0-2 pitch here against Nagorski.
Behind in the count 0-2, just like he was in his last at-bat. Here's the pitch from Chris Nagorski. Kreminski chops that one to first base. Castaldo will touch the bag for 1. And there are 2 gone now in the 6th.
The way that one was chopped over to first base led Castaldo right to the bag, and that was really the only play he had. The force out at first. The runners move up to second and third. And Austin Wilkie will swing the bat again here in this inning.
For the Majors, Daniel Gore is back up and loosening in the bullpen, just trying to get warm again after what has been a long bottom of the 6th. 8-2 Majors. They've put up 7 in the frame so far. Nagorski will step off the mound. Wasn't quite ready for the first offering to Wilkie. Wilkie got a great bunt down in his last at-bat. Reached first base on what was intended to be a sacrifice. Here's the pitch. Wilkie fouls it off 0-1.
Great job to get ahead by Nagorski here. 2 gone in the inning, so you're just working for the final out to really end what has been a big blow against the Leafs here in this game. You got to get your team back on offense.
0-1 breaking ball drops in there for strike 2 on Wilkie. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Wilkie ready in the box. Nagorski ready on the mound. The 0-2 home breaking ball skied in the air. Mara on the infield. Moves over, makes the grab, and this inning is over. The Majors came into the 6th behind by a run. They now lead by 6. It's 8-2, and the crowd giving them a cheer as they head off the field. We'll be back after this on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Top of the 7th inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park. As you get a look at the crowd here on hand, a pretty decent crowd for a Tuesday night, that's for sure, here at Labatt Park. And they have just seen their Majors put up a 7 spot in the 6th inning. As Justin Mara will lead things off for Toronto against Daniel Gore. Gore came in relief of Fernando Fernandez when an inning allowed 3 hits, 1 run, did not strike out or walk a batter. Fernandez final line, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Gore back out for the 7th. Into the windup, here's the pitch from Gore. That's outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. The pitch will miss inside, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Off the plate inside, 3-0. Gore working from the windup. 3-0 on its way to Mara in there for a strike, so he finds the zone. Here's the 3-1 swing and a miss from Justin Mara. 3-2. Full count, nobody out. Here is the pitch. On the ground to second base. Newton gets it on a big hop. Throws it over to right. It pulls him off the bag. And Mara's going to reach on the throw. So we'll see how that's scored. Looks at first glance like it'll be an error. And it will be an error charge to Jacob Newton. Defensive changes to work around. Kraminski takes over at third. Wright takes over at first. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike to Marcus Connect. Gore at 22 pitches through an inning plus a batter of work. 23 after that last strike. Mara stands over at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball runs inside and hits Connect. So the first two batters of the inning will reach. Mara by way of the error to Newton. And now Connect after he gets hit by a breaking ball.
I know you have a 6-run lead, Dylan, but this is a situation where you cannot let the Leafs get any life back after that big 7-run inning. You give them either 1 or 2 here, it suddenly makes this once again a close ball game.
So John Salazzo steps into the batter's box. Salazzo runners at first and second, nobody out. Gore in a tough spot. Braden Farrington back standing, not throwing right now in the Majors bullpen. First pitch to Salazzo is in for a strike. Oh, 1 from Gore. Outside, 1-1. Gore looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. He comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch on its way. Salazzo hits it hard on the ground. Wright makes the stop over at first base. Will jog to the bag, get the shore out. 1 away now in the top of the 7th inning.
Big force out on the grounder over to first base there. Taylor Wright looking comfortable over at first base on that play. And now Lewis will come to the plate here for the Maple Leafs. A couple of runners in scoring position.
So Connor Lewis into the batter's box now for Toronto. 1 for 2 in the ball game, including a double slice down the left field line. Here's the pitch from Gore. Breaking ball up and in, ball 1. One-0 on its way, fouled off by Connor Lewis right into home plate umpire Chris Walters. Robert Mullen will check on him. Give him a second to regroup here. Looked like it caught home plate umpire up near the neck area, the way he's shaking out his head a little bit.
Yeah, Mullen out to the mound to give him a little bit of a breather. Braden Farrington is ready and waiting down in the Majors bullpen. He will be coming in. It's just a matter of when now.
Gore ready on the mound. You'd think ideally the 8th or the 9th for Farrington. Breaking ball, Lewis hits a rocket, and I believe it was scooped down there by one of the Majors bullpen catchers in the Majors dugout. Good play. 1-2 count. 1 away. Into the windup goes Gore. Here's the pitch on the ground to second base. Coming home, the runner from third. Newton will throw over to right. And there are 2 gone now as Toronto scores a run and allows Marcus Connect to move up to third base.
Good job to pick up the force out on the play. Obviously, 1 run comes in to score for the Leafs. And if you're Gore in the majors here, you want to make sure that it stays at that. 8-3 ball game, but that run that stands at third can feel even bigger than it is.
That pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Here is the 0-1 home. That's outside, a ball and a strike. One ball, 1 strike count, 2 away. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 2.
A little bit of extra life on that fastball across the outside portion of the plate. After Daniel Gore, you know that the bullpen's ready. Finish your night off with 1 good pitch here.
Gore into the windup, pauses midway through. That one well outside, and a great effort by Robert Mullen to get down and keep that in front of him.
And Mullen going to come out and walk this ball to Daniel Gore just to make sure that they're on the same page for the next pitch.
Dan Mara talking to the home plate umpire about something. Was pointing towards the first base side of the field. 2 balls, 2 strike count. 2 away in the top of the 7th. Standing over at third base is Marcus Connect. Here is the 2-2 home. On the ground to shortstop. Candell waits back for the big hop. Gonna have to hurry. Throw is on a line. And they get Dan Mara to end the top of the 7th. So the Majors surrender 1 run, but they strand Connect over at third. It's 8-3 London after 6.5.
All said and done, a good top half of the 7th in comparison to what it could have been for the Leafs. You limit them to just the 1 run. You hold on to an 8-3 lead as you head into the stretch and into the bottom of the 7th inning. And now you see if you can maybe grab another run or 2 off this Leafs bullpen.
It'll be Chris Nagorski back out there as the fans at Labatt Park have a little bit of fun. Lady all rolled up in her Fanshawe Falcons towel there.
Pretty good school, I heard.
Noah, noted Fanshawe Falcons alumni. Do you have a towel that you wrap yourself up in like an armadillo?
I don't.
No?
All the things I came away with out of college, it was not a blanket. About 3 jackets, half a dozen to a dozen shirts. Nope. No towels, no blankets. Nothing to keep you warm on a cold fall evening at Labatt Park.
There's a lady having a great time dancing. Everybody sings along to the song. And Noah, this is going to sound bad because everybody at the ballpark seems to know it and seems to sing along. I don't know what this song is. It's been played in every 7th inning stretch.
I feel like you do.
I've heard it a bunch of times because it gets played at every Majors home game, but I don't know the name of the song.
You're dating yourself a little bit there. Just a tad. But you can sing along with it, right?
I can sing along with it just fine.
That is all that matters.
Okay. But what if I want to sing along with it at home? That's my issue, right?
They have apps for that, don't they, Shazam?
I think you can
and
do
listen
it on
closely,
Snapchat.
Listen closely. When they get to the chorus, the title of the song's right in there. Actually, a lot of songs happen to do that. So if you're ever stuck,
Okay.
listen to the chorus.
Thank you.
The Music 101 here with Noah Smith.
Must have learned that at Fanshawe. I hear it's a pretty good school.
I did take a music history class.
We are
slept through half of it.
We're almost set here for the bottom of the 7th inning at Labatt Park between the Majors and the Maple Leafs. Keith Candell will lead things off against Chris Nagorski. Nagorski threw 10 pitches, got the Leafs out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Coming set, Nagorski. Here's the pitch. Up and in for ball 1.
Bottom of the order here to begin, and then turning things over to the top for the Majors in the bottom half of the 7th.
1-0 home, inside, 2-0.
Majors have still been walked more times than they have hits in the ball game, even despite that 7-run inning.
Here is the 2-0 home, inside on Candell, 3-0. So Nagorski's missed with 3 straight here on the Majors shortstop.
Someone in the comments says we're adorable together, Dylan.
I saw that, Noah. We like to have a good time up here in the broadcast booth.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree.
Keith Candell ready in the batter's box to face Chris Nagorski. 3-0 on its way. In there for a strike on Candell. 3-1.
Big chance here for Candell to get the inning started. Count now moves to 3-1.
The pitch, Candell fouls it off. It's 3-2.
I did see a comment in there. By the way, that was Garth Brooks.
Okay.
In case you want to go home and listen to that. Maybe listen to it on your drive home. It's not really the most upbeat song, but it gets you singing along.
Well, clearly. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Keith Candell down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning.
Great job by Nagorski there, coming right at Candell. Took it to a full count, but he was able to find that put-away pitch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And as we mentioned, it will turn things over to the top of this Majors order, and Jacob Newton. It's 1 for 2 tonight.
So Newton digs in to face Nagorski. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss, a big hack from Newton, and I believe on the backswing he knocked Chris Walters, the home plate umpire. Walters looked shaken up, had to readjust his mask.
He's had a rough date behind the plate. There was a couple of pass balls that got him as well. I believe one foul ball earlier in the game.
I think I remember that Robert Mullen gave him a second as well, just as Justin Mara did in this injury. Here's the pitch from Nagorski. Low, 1-1. Newton ready in the batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nagorski steps off the mound, wipes himself down a little bit, and looks in. Comes set on the rubber. Here's the 1-1 home. Newton fouls it off. 1-2.
Newton's had a couple of really good swings in this at-bat. Count will move to 1-2 on him, though, and now he's going to have to shorten up a little bit here on 2 strikes. See if he can find his way on.
Here's the pitch. That one is outside. 2-2 to the Majors' second baseman. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch on its way. Newton drives that one to right center field. Chasing after it, connecting Lewis going back to the warning track. It'll bounce up and over the fence. Pardon me, that's a home run. Jacob Newton's hit this one out.
No.
Just kidding.
Hold on.
We're trying to figure this. It looked like it bounced on the warning track up and over the fence.
I think it was a ground rule double. Hold our horses here. Yeah, he is going back to second base. A little overexcited up here.
Well, I saw that the second base umpire motioned like it was a home run, then the home run horn went off here. So it looked off the bat, looked on that play like it hit off the warning track and bounced over the fence, and a great play was made by a fan.
Didn't have the feel off the bat that it had enough to go for a home run. Did carry, though, and got it all its way out probably within 10 feet. Took that hop over the fence. So usually it's pretty easy to tell here at Labatt Park. They've got the ads on the outfield wall. That's one section there where it's actually just the chain link and you can see through.
First pitch to McQueen is in there for a strike. Now, typically you can gauge, okay, that ball bounced in front of the ad. I saw it. So it's a ground rule double because it's now over the fence. But right there, like you mentioned, there's nothing. Difficult to tell, but it did look like it bounced off the warning track.
Fans on the other side of the fence were cheering. Of course, that's just because they got a baseball.
Coming set is Nagorski. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss from Chris McQueen. It's 0-2.
Healthy cut there from McQueen, but now he finds himself in an 0-2 hole here against Nagorski. Shorten up his approach a little bit here and get ready for this 0-2 pitch.
Looking to protect the plate is the Majors left fielder, Chris McQueen. Newton taking a couple extra steps over at second base. Here's the pitch on its way. McQueen calls time, steps out. Pitch delivered by Nagorski, but it won't count, so we'll do it again here on 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. McQueen fouls it off. Count will remain no balls and 2 strikes.
Good battle at the plate by McQueen here on 2 strikes. I mentioned he's got a fantastic guy. He can shorten up well and just make contact on 2 strikes. That one wasn't one he was going to hit, but he'll foul it off to stay alive until he gets one that he has a better shot at.
Coming set, peeking back, Nagorski. Newton takes a step. Here's the offering. Outside, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes is the count. To Chris McQueen. Here's the pitch on its way. McQueen right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Vinicio on a dive. Looked to spin and fire, but couldn't do it. A great stop by the Toronto shortstop. Right back up the middle, but couldn't quite get it out of his glove, so McQueen will reach on what will surely be scored a base hit.
Yeah, Vinicio there saves a run from coming in to score for sure with Newton at second base, but he wasn't going to have a shot even if he did field that cleanly to get McQueen coming down the line to first base. Majors have runners at the corners. Just 1 out here in the inning.
So Taylor Wright will get another chance at the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Has walked twice, struck out looking once, and then was intentionally walked the next time he came to the plate. 3 walks total for Taylor Wright in this contest. Taking a peek back at first is Nagorski. Runners on the corners, 1 away. Steps off and takes a longer look at McQueen.
Yeah,
no action, leaves bullpen.
Majors have been walked 9 times tonight. Wright is 3 of those.
That one will miss high.
Newton at the top of the order, Candell at the bottom of the order, if each walked twice as well.
Taking a peek is Nagorski. Taylor Wright ready in the batter's box, ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch on the ground, fouled it off his foot. So it's a foul ball. Everybody will head back.
Both the home plate umpire and the first base umpire right on that call right away as it hit off the foot of Taylor Wright.
So 1-1 is the count on the Majors' first baseman. Batting in the 3 spot today. Here's the pitch from Nagorski. Wright fouls that one off. It's 1-2.
Good cut there, and now another 2-strike count. This time it's to Taylor Wright.
Coming set, Nagorski. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch, breaking ball. Wright stays alive, fouls it straight back.
Staying alive. alive there. Still just one out here in the inning. Leafs don't have anyone going down in the bullpen. This tells you that Nagorski is going to be in here to finish this inning.
Ballflowers cheering on the ball boy as he went to go get that baseball running is McQueen. Here's the throw to second base. A swim move, but they got him. So Chris McQueen is thrown out trying to swipe second. And there are two away now and a 2-2 count to Taylor Wright.
McQueen actually got a pretty decent jump there, but it was a good pitch to throw on from Mara down to second base and trying to swim around the tag, but ended up putting himself well out of position. Easy tag out for the second out here, and the count 2-2.
Here's the 2-2 home. Wright cues that one down the third base line. Goes foul. Count remains 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, two out in the bottom of the seventh inning. Majors lead by a score of 8-3. Taylor Wright against Chris Nagorski. Runner over at third for London. Wright ready in the batter's box, looking out. Here comes the 2-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike three. So Chris Nagorski sets down Taylor Wright and does not allow the Majors to push one across in the bottom of the seventh inning. We are through 7 complete at Labatt Park, 8-3 London.
Capturing emotion in every.
Back here on Majors TV coverage of the Inter-County Baseball League Finals, Game 5. And we move along to the top half of the 8th inning. Through 7 at the ballpark, it's an 8-3 London Majors lead, thanks in part to a big 7-run bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, the Majors really tacked on the runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They scored first on a wild pitch and then wound up scoring their second run on a wild pitch as well. As unorthodox as the first run coming into score was, they did it again in the very next inning to tie the game at 2-2. That was after Toronto pushed across 2 runs of their own. To even things up, the Majors did, and then they scored 6 more in that frame for a total of 7. Put themselves up 8-2. Daniel Gore surrendered 1 more run in the top of the 7th to make it 8-3, and that is where this game sits right now at Labatt Park through 7 complete in Game 5 of the IBL Finals.
Crowd has thinned out a little bit here as we head to the 8th in London. About 5 minutes off from 11 o'clock local time. And of course a work and school night for all the lovely folks in the ballpark. You gotta go to class in the morning.
I do. 8 a.m. communications tech.
Gotta wake up early to broadcast some more stuff.
Exactly, yes I do.
The grind never stops.
Really doesn't.
For young Dylan Baker. Ready to go to begin the top of the 8th. The first pitch is going to miss inside. Leafs here in the top of the 8th inning. Running out of time to form a comeback here in this ball game. 1-0 to Topley. Fastball off the plate. 2-0 now.
Toppling the ball game is 0 for 3. Gave a ball a pretty good ride out into right center field in his second trip. 2 groundouts to go along with that.
Gore just missing at the bottom of the zone.
That one was close, but Gore does not get the benefit of that call. Robert Mullen held on to that baseball for a long time. Likely got an explanation from Chris Walters as to where that one missed.
Well, missed at the bottom of the zone for sure, but it looked pretty good location based on where it was caught by Mullen. That one is called a strike, and it's now 3-1.
Good pitch right there from Daniel Gore, hitting the outside part of the plate.
And now it's 3-2, called strike on the corner.
Another good pitch right there from Daniel Gore. Clearly has a game plan against Damon Topley. Trying to hit the outside part of the plate has worked on the last 2 pitches.
On the ground, second base. Newton comes over, has time, throws it to 1. And Damon Topley is retired for the first out here in the top of the 8th inning.
Routine play over at second base for Jacob Newton, coming in, making the stop and throwing it over to Taylor Wright to retire Damon Topley for the first out of the top of the 8th.
Majors have Braden Farrington ready in the bullpen. If Gore runs into any trouble here in this 8th, and that one's going to miss. Gore ready again, this time on 1-0. Called on the outside edge. Count now even. A ball and a strike.
Toronto with 6 hits in the ball game. Greg Carrington has 2 of them, and both of them came with 2 strikes. He's a tremendous 2-strike hitter.
Comes inside, that time with a breaking ball. Carrington had to get out of the way. The count, 2 balls and a strike. Here on the Leafs outfielder. Top of the order on deck for Toronto. And this one's fouled back into the screen. So Gore works it to 2-2 now here on Carrington.
Good pitch right there from Daniel Gore. Another 2-2 count for Greg Carrington. This was the exact count that he had his last hit in, so we'll see if Gore has better success finishing him off.
2-2 and missing outside. Trying to work away from Carrington on 2 strikes there, but missed well off the plate. And now with 1 gone here in the inning, the count is full. Ball 4, and Carrington is aboard with 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
Another example right there of Greg Carrington's ability to just be a tough out at the plate. He managed to work that count, got it to full, and took ball 4. So he didn't get a 2-strike hit this time around, but he still gets on base after having had a 2-strike count. Another great job by Carrington in that box.
So Vinicio back to the top of the order for Toronto. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. And from one good 2-strike hitter to another here at the top of the order. Gore still on the mound for the Majors. Fastball, call a strike. And he gets ahead of Vinicio.
Good pitch right there from Daniel Gore, finding the inside part of the plate. Vinicio reacted a little bit surprised, but Gore got the call.
Another one to the plate. This one misses low to Vinicio. Count evens up at 1-1. Mullen was quick to hop up there and check on Carrington.
And just in case Greg Carrington is on the move. He's got lots of speed over at first base, perhaps. Leafs trying to ignite something. They'd put him on the move here.
Not going to the plate and missing to Vinicio. Falling behind in the count now, 2-1. Crowd trying to cheer on Daniel Gore here in the 8th inning. The pitch will be fouled back into the screen by Vinicio, and now it's 2-2.
Good pitch right there from Gore. Vinicio able to get a piece and foul it straight back. Now Gore has worked it to a 2-strike count. One more pitch could put away the shortstop.
Been a tough out to get, been aboard 3 times tonight. 2 hits, a walk as well. Gore's going to pick off over to 1. Oh, in time is Carrington getting back.
That was a tight one. Very good pickoff move from Daniel Gore out there on the mound. Carrington slow to dive back to the bag, and they nearly caught him.
So another 2-2 after the move to 1. Gore set on the hill. Delivery ripped, and it's a fair ball down the line into right field, picked up by Starling Joseph. Vinicio looks for 2. The throw not in time to get the speedy Vinicio. A 1-out double. The Leafs have runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Another example of the talent that Jose Vinicio possesses both at the plate and in the field. That one he scorched over the head of Taylor Wright down the right field line. Joseph did a good job cutting it off before it rolled all the way to the fence. So the Leafs have 2 runners in scoring position now with 1 out, and Brent Wales, the Majors pitching coach, will come out to talk to his right-handed arm.
Come out to talk, but not getting the hook just yet, as they're going to let Gore continue on here and face at least Jordan Castaldo. But with Vinicio aboard, Carrington at 3rd, things do start to get a little bit interesting, Dylan, as a base hit can bring the Leafs back within 3. One swing of the bat off a guy like Jordan Castaldo could bring them back within a couple.
Exactly. Jordan Castaldo's got so much pop. He's definitely a candidate to drive a ball out of the ballpark here in this spot and make it a tight game at 8-6. So Gore's got to worry not about the base runners, but about the man at the plate. You don't want Castaldo to drive one out of here and make it a 2-run ball game.
Just missing on the first pitch to Castaldo, and it's 1-0. So tough to think about the base runners out there, but for Daniel Gore, you got to focus on the batter. Here's the 1-0. Castaldo takes it, but it's called a strike. Count even at 1-1.
Good pitch right there from Gore on the outside part of the plate. Castaldo can't turn on that one, so it's a good place to live if you're Daniel Gore. We'll see if he can continuously go back there.
To the plate and fouled off. Good swing, but it's over top of the third base grandstand off the bat of Castaldo. Now 1-2.
Castaldo has 1 strikeout in the ballgame. That came against Fernando Fernandez. We'll see how he fares against the righty Gore here.
Chance to put away Castaldo on 1-2. Delivery from the righty, and it's fouled off.
Good job by Castaldo battling at the plate, getting a piece right there and staying alive, excuse me.
Castaldo digs in just as that batting helmet and prepares for another 1-2 from Gore. Curveball and missing up in the zone.
That one did not miss by much. A good curveball from Daniel Gore. Nearly worked its way back over the corner, but did not get the call from the home plate umpire.
Two and two now here on Castaldo. And just off the plate. 3-2.
That one didn't miss by much. On the outside, Castaldo took it. Gore didn't get the call.
Castaldo trying to find his way on here, maybe driving a couple of runs for the Leafs. Score looking to shut him down. 3-2 comes inside, gets away, and Carrington couldn't make up his mind and stays at third.
Yeah, that was kind of a tough one for Greg Carrington. A little bit in between as Robert Mullen had to go a pretty long ways to go get that baseball, but at first glance it didn't seem like it was going to get too far, and so Carrington hesitated, then went, then hesitated again, and then elected to go back to the bag to be safe as Braden Farrington continues to loosen up, and that'll bring out Majors manager Roop Chanderdat.
So the Majors are going to go to the bullpen here as Roop Chanderdat makes the walk out to the mound. Daniel Gore will leave the bases loaded here with one gone in the top of the 8th inning. The Leafs pressing here down by a score of 8-3. And it's the right-hander Braden Farrington coming into the ball game. When we come back, you're watching Game 5 of the IBL Finals here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Christie, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
The Majors have gone to the bullpen here in Game 5. Daniel Gore has left the bases loaded. And now it is up to Braden Farrington to try and close out the remainder of this 8th inning and possibly beyond for the Majors.
So Braden Farrington into the ball game, the London, Ontario native, Fanshawe College alumni, as well as St. Clair Community College alumni. He's pitched in 5 playoff games, has yet to surrender an earned run in 6 1/3 innings pitched. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits allowed. Had a save in the regular season, a .221 earned run average in 15 appearances during the 2022 campaign.
Inherits the bases loaded here, but does have a force out on the infield. 1 gone here in the top of the 8th. First pitch missing to Justin Mara, and it's 1-0.
That one just high to the Maple Leafs catcher.
Farrington ready. Now this one popped up sky high on the infield. There is Kreminski, and there are 2 gone.
Good play over there by Gibson Kreminski. A ball that was kind of inside, so far inside on Justin Mara that he got jammed and just popped it up. The spin on those can be tricky at times, so good play by Kreminski to make that grab.
So Marcus Connect will come to the plate. Bases still loaded here for Toronto. Now 2 gone in the top of the 8th. Braden Farrington did what he needed to do coming out of the bullpen. 2 pitches, 1 out.
Still got 1 more to get here, and it won't be an easy one with Connect coming up.
Ready is Farrington, looks, and the delivery. Curveball starts the at-bat, and it's 0-1.
Good pitch right there from Braden Farrington, dropping in a hook for the first strike.
0-1. Farrington ready again. This time popped up again on the infield, and it's caught. Doesn't get much better than that from Braden Farrington. Quick, efficient, and gets the Majors out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the 8th.
Fantastic performance right there for Braden Farrington. Comes in a tough situation. 1 out, bases loaded. Not only that, he's got to face the number 3 and number 4 hitters in the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup in Justin Mara and Marcus Connect. Farrington executed his pitches to perfection, generated a couple of pop flies on the infield, and gets 2 quick outs to send the Majors back on the bats in the bottom of the 8th.
So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning here in London. Majors looking to add on some insurance runs before the top of the 9th. They lead by a score of 8-3. Looks like Chris Nagorski still on the mound here for Toronto.
Yeah, we didn't see anybody loosening up in the last inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We kind of had the feeling it was going to be Chris Nagorski's game, so long as he didn't run into more trouble. And at 33 pitches through an inning and 2/3, he's been having a pretty good contest so far for the Leafs. The Leafs have used 4 pitchers in this ball game. Sam Green got the start through 49 pitches, only 23 of them strikes, less than 50%. Then Dylan Jacober came in relief. He threw 47 pitches. Franklin Hernandez out of the bullpen was called upon in an extremely difficult situation with the bases loaded, nobody out. He threw 23 pitches in his third of an inning of work. And Nagorski came in relief, ended that frame, threw another at 33 pitches now. 23 of them strikes up to this point. The Majors have used 4 arms: Fernandez, Gore, and Farrington.
Bottom of the 8th inning here in London. Game 5 of the IBL Finals at Labatt Memorial Park. There will be a Game 6 regardless. That game will go Thursday at Christie Pits in Toronto. Winner of this ball game will have a chance to close out the series on Thursday. Majors hoping it's going to be them. They lead by a score of 8-3.
It's going to be quite the environment at Christie Pits on Thursday. We heard it mentioned on the broadcast last night, pardon me, not last night, Sunday night, that it was probably the loudest that Ryan Eakin, who's been around the league for a while, had ever heard Christie Pits. It was a great environment for baseball on Sunday, and you can expect more of the same on Thursday night for Game 6.
Robert Mullen will lead things off here for London, bottom of the 8th inning. Nagorski on the hill for the Maple Leafs. Nagorski ready, and first pitch will come inside and hit Robert Mullen. So the Majors get a base runner aboard here to start the 8th.
First pitch from Chris Nagorski rides up and in on Robert Mullen and clips him in the left bicep area, so he will reach. He'll take his time to head down to first base, shake that one off. Him and Nagorski talking as he walks out. Just an apology, it looks like. No intent behind that, just a fastball that sailed on him.
So Phil Whalen will take some swings here. Came in as a pinch runner for Cleveland Brownlee earlier on in the ballgame. And the first pitch is going to be across for a strike, and he's down 0-1.
Whalen yet to have a plate appearance, as you mentioned, first at bat of the ball game. Whalen has a couple of home runs this year.
And that one's going to come in and drill him. So Nagorski possibly running out of gas here in the 8th as he hits back-to-back batters to begin the bottom half of inning number 8.
Crowd getting on Nagorski a little bit. That's just a curveball that he could not control. Slipped out of his hand, ran in, and got Phil Whalen on the back. So some action in the Maple Leafs bullpen as Adam Mara begins to get loose. 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the 8th.
Starling Joseph now will come to bat here for London. Action in both teams' bullpens here in the bottom half of the 8th. Joseph in the air, center field. Not hit overly deep. Lewis, a couple steps in and to his right, makes the catch, and there's one gone.
Good job by Chris Nagorski out there on the mound, bouncing right back. He hit a couple of batters. Neither of them was intentional, just kind of two pitches that sailed on him. A fastball that ran up and in on Robert Mullen, and then a curveball that hit Phil Whalen in the back, and comes right back. First pitch to Starling is hit in the air to center field. Routine fly ball for Connor Lewis as you get a look at the Maple Leafs bullpen where Adam Mara loosens up just in case Nagorski can't get through the bottom of the 8th.
Gibson Kraminski, the batter now. Pitch ripped on the ground, second base. Throw to 2, back to 1 in time. The Leafs roll a double play ball to get themselves out of the bottom of the 8th inning. We go to the 9th here in London. Game 5 of the IBL Finals. Majors lead by a score of 8-3.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors. Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park as we go to the 9th inning in London. Majors lead by a score of 8-3. Country Roads blares over the loudspeakers here at Labatt Park as we go to the 9th.
Wallflowers down there singing along in unison, doing a great job filling in the blanks of Country Roads as the Majors look to be taken home. We'll see if we can get a look at it on your screen here in the crowd.
They set up down in the first row there, and it's almost like a choir.
It's pretty cool.
It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing to see.
A Tuesday night in downtown London. And a great time had by all.
They get a round of applause from the rest of the fans sticking around here in the ballpark. Braden Farrington is back out onto the hill for London. London doesn't want to mess around as we go to the 9th here, and they're going to go with Braden Farrington. Got the Majors out of a big jam in the top half of the 8th, and now will be tasked with getting the final 3 outs of this ball game and sending this thing back to Christie Pits with the Majors leading 3-2.
Will not be an easy task here for Braden Farrington. John Salazzo, Connor Lewis, Dan Mara, 3 guys that are a big part of this Leafs order.
So Farrington grabs his sign, gets ready on the mound. The first pitch of the inning is going to miss upstairs. Count now 1-0. Majors outfield playing a little bit of a pull here on John Salazzo. A pitch missing from Farrington, 2-0 now.
Yeah, the Majors outfield typically begins in a pull positioning until there are 2 strikes, and that's when we'll usually see Austin Wilkie and probably Chris McQueen, who's out in left field as well, shift over a little more opposite field.
Another one missing from Farrington. 3-0 now to begin the inning.
I don't mind Farrington being cautious here. He's a guy who at times will allow some long balls if he puts the baseball in the wrong spot. He's not a guy who throws overly hard out there on the mound. So with the big power lefty bat of John Salazzo at the plate, Farrington is pitching cautiously. With Lewis and Mara, a couple of righties on deck, we'll probably see him be more aggressive.
4 straight to begin the inning, and Salazzo is aboard with a walk here to begin the 9th for Toronto.
Some obvious frustration on the mound for Braden Farrington after he walks him on 4 straight pitches. Whether he was trying to work around him, as I suspect, or not, it's still frustrating to throw 4 straight wide ones. So Keith Candell will come in to talk to him. Robert Mullen went out a little bit to chat. Candell will give him a second to catch his breath and see if he can regroup.
Salazzo aboard at first. Lewis the batter here for Braden Farrington in the top of the 9th. Righty delivers, and that one does find the strike zone.
Comes right after Lewis on the first pitch. Finds the zone 0-1.
Curveball, swing and a miss. Got it figured out now, and it's 0-2 on Lewis.
After a good fastball in the strike zone, you knew Connor Lewis was going to be sitting dead red again, hoping to get another fastball that he could drive. Farrington switched things up, threw a curveball, and got him to swing and miss.
Curveball off the end of the bat, and caught by Candell to throw back to 1, not in time to get Salazzo. 1 gone.
Good play by Keith Candell. That can be a tricky one at times just because of how it's flared off the end of the bat by Connor Lewis, as he just popped that one around second base. And for a second, you didn't know if that ball was going to go into the outfield or if it was going to stay in the infield. John Salazzo took a few extra steps thinking maybe it was going to get down. And Candell had to fire a strike over to the bag. Nearly got him after venturing out too far.
Pitch to the plate, called a strike on Mara. 0-1 now. Salazzo the lead at first. Not a big one here with 1 gone. Curveball, strike 2.
Good curve right there from Braden Farrington, dropping in and finding the strike zone for the second strike against Dan Mara. Now has a chance to put him away here on 0-2, which is the count that he had for Connor Lewis when he popped the ball up.
Oh, 2 for Braden Farrington. To the plate. On the ground, second base. Shovel to 2, and back to 1 won't be in time, and the throw goes wide and finds its way out of play. So Morrow will get up to second on the errant throw. 2 gone.
Good play by Candell to shovel it over to Jacob Newton quickly. But Newton fired it into the Maple Leafs dugout, trying to turn that thing and get Dan Mara, who's got pretty good speed coming down that line. And with it going out of play, the Maple Leafs will have a runner in scoring position with 2 out.
8-3 ball game, top of the 9th. 2 outs, that throwing error. Not the most painful, but probably also could have been saved. Morrow got down the line very quickly. Curveball starts the at-bat to Damon Topley, and he's behind 0-1.
Good breaking ball right there from Farrington, drops in for the first strike.
0-1, Farrington ready, curveball again, Topley takes again, and it's 0-2.
Another good curveball from Braden Farrington. He seemed to find confidence in that pitch after he worked the walk in the beginning of this inning.
Curveball on the ground, third base, picked up Kerminski across the diamond in time. And the Majors will take a 3-2 series lead to Toronto with a chance to close it out on Thursday night.
Great performance by the London Majors here in this one. They had to grind it out, especially early when the Maple Leafs did not allow a hit until I believe it was the 4th inning, Noah. Sam Green did not give one up on the mound. Dylan Jacober surrendered a base hit to Dan Perrier that he kind of just spiked over the third baseman, John Salazzo. As we welcome you back inside the Game Day London broadcast booth, the 7-run sixth was the difference for the Majors in this contest. The offense came alive when it needed to.
Dylan, this game started and we thought we were going to get a pitcher's duel, and we really did for the first half of this baseball game. Both teams, both pitching staffs going back and forth, but as you mentioned, that big 7-run inning for the Majors really was all they needed to hold on for an 8-3 win here in Game 5 of this series. The home team improves to 5-0 in this series, and it heads back to Toronto for Game 6 on Thursday night.
Yeah, should be an exciting contest in Game 6 on Thursday. You know the Majors are going to be riding high with a chance to close out the series, but Christie Pits is not a great environment to play in as any opposing team, and the fans in Toronto, they are dedicated, they are loud, and they love to have a good time. They'll be cheering on their Maple Leafs on Thursday. Won't be an easy task for the Majors, but they've positioned themselves so they have a shot at winning it on Thursday night.
Leafs won't go down easy, you can bet that. Game 6, Thursday night in Toronto at Christie Pits, as the Majors will look to win the ball game and go back-to-back here in the Intercounty Baseball League. The Leafs will look to try and stay alive another day. The final score, 8-3 from Labatt Park tonight here in Game 5. The Majors 8 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. The Leafs 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. That does it for our broadcast here from Labatt Park tonight. From our entire Majors TV crew, we say thank you for watching along with us, and we hope you're going to be watching along with us on Thursday night from Toronto.